Oh, hey guys, Quest took streaming.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed. Oh, it says this stream is unavailable. Excuse me.
Unavailable? What?
This account is no longer active.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Oh, there we go.
I'm unable to join the stream. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You should be.
Is that why adequate GM is in the users right now in the stream?
I'm reloading it to see if I can actually join the stream. Quest took. Am I in the stream? Press and join. No, it's not really showing it there. It's having some issues.
I mean, I'm seeing it just fine.
Oh, there it is. There it is. So we've got Roll20 opened up. I'm gonna open up some D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
And get everybody's character sheet sort of floating around. So it's Sunday night, right?
Mm-hmm.
8 o'clock. It's time for Quest Hook.
Let's hook some quests.
Yeah, can we get a little Niederville Steps going?
I'm already playing it.
Ooh.
Hurry
Loving
it
me
up,
some
you hookers.
Niederville Steps.
Mm-hmm.
Join the chat while watching the video. How do we join the chat? Oh, Quest Hook went live. Here we go. It's catching up already.
20-second lag time.
20-second lag time.
Yeah, just a casual 30-minute lag.
Alrighty, so we are back. It's time, Mithrashiel Wild West. It's 8 o'clock, Sunday night. First of all, before anything, Ben, can you just give us a recap? Just let us know, before we get introductions going or anything like that, what happened last week? I mean, it seems like we have a pretty good recap written up here, so I think we should kind of share that.
It was pretty eventful.
It was.
Yeah.
So why don't you just take it from the top, Ben? Go right ahead.
All right. Previously on Quiztalk, previously known as Mithrashiel. As Walden lays there contemplating his shot, Valuan spies Nessa alongside Gaston on the dais, as well as Mathigan and Zaban in the crowd. But nowhere to be seen are his two comrades, Viz and Kenny. Unbeknownst to him, they're preparing to blow the bonfire. Gaston approaches to speak to denizens of Stormtop. As he takes reaches his podium, and the ringing thunder of Walden's rifle can be heard as Gaston's hat is blown clear off his head. Not wanting to miss the opportunity, Valuan arcs an arrow into Gaston's shoulder. Shouts and cries call out from the panicking crowd, and just when they thought things couldn't get more confusing, Viz and Kenny blow up their trap for the bonfire. The screaming of people and fire alike are now washing out the orders and commands of the Frostline leaders rushing to protect Gaston. Nessa runs in to shield Gaston from further fire to no avail as Valuan continues to pelt Gaston with arrows. Walden, seeing the cleanest opportunity to fulfill their contract to the Cerulean, blows out Nessa's knees with astounding precision. As she falls to the ground, wailing in distress, the cowed man takes to the skies, floating ominously and darts a menacing glare in Walden and Valuan's direction. Seeing his back turn, Viz seizes the opportunity to send his bird Terry in for an attack, only to be taken aback sensing Terry's immense dread as a white dragon descends from the heavens above. Never before in Kel has such a scene occurred. The gamut of emotions that run through the boys at that moment range from fear, stress, and dire sense of pressure. Viz and Kenny take to escape off the side of the cliff. Now aboard the dragon, the cowed man soars towards Valuan and Walden with seething fury as he fires a ball of flame towards them. While Walden wants to flee for safety, Valuan tries his best to be brave in the face of danger and not let Gaston escape, continuing to rain down arrows from the west. On the ground, the demeanor of the strange fellows, Mathigan and his crew, contrast the boys as he leads his party into battle, cutting through frostline like a hot knife through warm butter. Before Gaston can make his last stand with his dying breath, Merrick and Dujek slay him and toss his body into the fire, causing the fire to burn white hot and intensely before erupting into cataclysm. As Viz and Kenny make their escape from the intense situation, Valuan and Walden flee for their lives from the dragon duo, by making their way down and through neighboring fisheries, donning disguises to better blend into the fleeing crowd. Just as they couldn't think things could get any more dire, a hideous primal roar can be heard from the direction of the fire as something dreadful and demonic spawns from the flames, as if matching the cries of the white dragon. Stormtop has descended into chaos. As the boys flee for their lives to the outskirts of Stormtop, they look back and see nothing but fire blazing the once cold town, and wanting to put as much distance between them and terror as possible, begin fleeing south. As the boys depart, the sounds of humanity dying accompany the sights of elven war galleons leaving Stormtop. In the skies above, a pack of red griffins can be seen surveying the destruction before turning to fly elsewhere. The boys march through the night to Shishito's and find it packed with fleeing Stormtop citizens. Instead of pressing their luck, they decide to make camp at a hidden smuggler's den that Kenny manages to find for them. The next day, they continue to try and make their way to their rendezvous point with Ringo, only to happen upon a pack of hostile orcs making their way through the forest. Unable to sneak past them, the boys end up unleashing their tired and distressing anger upon the orcs and continue their escape.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
And that brings us to where we are. If you look at our roll 20, we are still in the midst of the forest. And you guys have just finished slaughtering all of these orcs. Kenny's still in bear form. Everybody else is sort of clinging to whatever, life they have. Some are a little hurt, some not so much at all.
This is quite injured.
But before we get rolling, we'll just do some little around the table introductions, going down the line. As always, I'm your GM, Tom, fairly adequate. Not really amazing, but adequate. And next to my right, Jimmy J.
Jimmy J. John here, playing Visradel Veyrna, Elven Wizard Extraordinaire, and at the moment, one who is losing quite a bit of blood.
Bleeding profusely.
Immensely. From every orifice.
He got a few good spells off, but got a few good hits on him from the Ox in return.
And Bien.
What's up, guys? I'm Bien. I play our resident fighter, Fao Yuan, half black, half white, half elf, half human, halfway around the world, half not knowing what to do in this situation right now.
Half scared.
Half scared.
Half scared.
Half great.
Pissing his pants.
Walden. Natey boy.
Hello, my name is Nate. I playing the role of Walden. He is a human rogue, gunslinger type, since we're in the Wild West here. And he speaks with a horrible southern accent. So get ready for that. And maybe he'll even switch into a Louisiana accent. You never know.
Give your molasses on you if the time strikes him.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, Joey boy. Muted, as
Dead
usual.
to us. And the world.
Rah, 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 rah,
There it is.
rah. I turned back into a gnome druid. Oh, sorry, that was all in bear form. I'm Joe. I'm playing Kenny. I'm a gnome druid. Not extraordinary or adequate or anything. Just a gnome druid.
Just regular old
Oh.
standard
he
gnome
speaks-
druid.
He speaks in a horrible gnome accent.
Absolutely.
All gnomes.
We're all going to get a lot of horrible accents.
Yes. Oh, horrible accents abound.
I don't know what you're talking
terrible
about. Visradel sounds quite convincing.
And the four of you are accompanied by the real extraordinaire, Billy Bob, Raskalov Tiberius III, cleric extraordinaire, of Paylor, from Old Bellows. Your hireling, your confidant, your ear late at night, willing to listen to your problems.
Oh.
Those mornings where you wake up and have tea over breakfast, just you and Billy Bob, talking about the ways that Paylor enriches your life. Those moments are truly, truly special.
Truly intimate. Truly intimate.
He is extraordinary in every sense of the word.
Well, then maybe he should extraordinarily help our wizard.
Oh. Like, oh, somebody needs to be healed. I'm like,
Yeah, that
I
guy.
can do
You know, took a,
that.
see the guy who reads books, who just took a battle axe? That guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not made for this.
He's like, oh, I got that spell, Cure Wounds. And he's going to go ahead and cure your wounds using a second level spell. So you can roll me a 2d8 plus 2.
Oh, 2d8 plus 2. I will do such. Thank you very much.
As he
William
lays his hands
Robert.
upon you and says a blessing of Paylor and sends the light of Paylor into your soul.
Man, those were some bad rolls, but 19 out of 27. I am feeling better. Thank you very much, William.
I took some damage too.
Yeah. Oh, anybody else hurting?
I am hurting quite a bit.
Well then, yeah, he's got a little bit more spell left in him. So he'll do a cure wounds on you, using just a first level spell.
God damn it, Billy Bob.
He doesn't know how injured you are. How injured are you?
I am. Let me open this up real quick. I don't know why it's not on the quest. Oh, there we go. 9 damage. I need to heal 9.
Oh, well, him just casting a regular cure wounds is absolutely perfect. Then.
It's the principle, man.
He will heal you for 8.
Man, you got healed as much as I did.
What a dick. There we go. Thank you very much, Billy Bob. And I'll tip my... I'm assuming I'm wearing a cowboy hat of some type.
That's entirely up to you, are you?
He is.
Yeah. I think I have to be.
Okay.
So
I
I'll
think you
tip
have to
that.
as well.
Tip that old buddy.
It's canon.
All right.
At all times, Walden is
Tip of the
wearing
tip.
a cowboy hat.
All right, just the tip.
Just the tips.
Just the
Tip.
tip.
Also,
Just.
canon that at all times, Kenny is tripping on mushrooms.
Well,
I mean,
not all the
not
time.
always.
Only when stated.
He's got a few left.
I have more than a few, but that's none
though
of your business, all right?
It is true that the entire time Kenny has been smoking elven pipeweed.
That's
That is
also
very true.
So that is true.
Yeah, but I mean that's just being high. That's nothing.
Yeah. Well,
Not to him.
I mean, yeah, not to Kenny,
That's just,
That's everything.
That's just his.
nor to
baseline.
me, or really anybody else, but 100% exactly.
I do believe I have 3.5 pounds left.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
That should last
you
you
don't
with
wanna
the
waste it.
afternoon.
Well, I mean, it's
You're gonna get pinched
you
on a
know,
distribution judge, Kenny.
it's
right.
several hundred years old. It was in a sealed elven temple with these pieces of technology.
tell that to the
That
I
don't mean
want
much
to
to
reverse
John Locke.
engineer.
Tell that to the
Speaking of which,
authorities.
Viz, I need to talk to you about that.
Yes, we do
since
need
you're
to
an elf.
discuss that at some point. I would love
Later.
to learn about
Yeah.
those.
As you guys say
cultivation.
over the orc corpses. You say.
Yeah, we need to move south.
Sorry,
Everybody.
I
So
My
what do you
understanding is-
guys want to do? So let's set the scene a little bit.
Mm.
This map doesn't do it quite justice because it is middle of, I wouldn't say it's winter, but it is snowy as fuck. You guys are in ankle deep snow. There's snow piled up around in various places and such. The trees all have a coating of snow on top of them and everything. But now that snow is darkened all over the place with lots of orc blood, you are finding yourself, we'll move you guys more towards where the action that you were was. You find yourself in the midst of about a dozen or so bodies. 3 of them charred beyond recognition from lightning, and the rest of them stabbed, sliced, mauled in various forms.
Beaten with a shield.
Yeah, beaten with a shield. So there's a fair amount of blood all over the place. In addition to 12 corpses of these orcs that are, a good 7.5, 8 feet tall, 350, 400 pounds. So the
this a
question begs to
cliff?
be asked: what do you guys want to do? Is what?
Is this a cliff over here? there?
No.
No, not
It's just the edge
that.
of
It's a cliff, but not from where we're standing.
Damn.
Yeah.
We're at the bottom.
It's just the edge of the map.
Is there a cliff somewhere
Is
by
there a
where we're
cliff?
standing?
Well, you can, go out and do some scouting if you want to go try to find a cliff, but you haven't seen one nearby. You haven't found any, you're not in that kind of
Kenny, can
terrain at the
you
moment.
just sort of get the attention of the local nature to do our cleanup for us, as it were? I mean, they would love to eat, This is a bounty to them.
Some of them, but probably not all of them. And there hasn't been a lot of wildlife in these woods since we've been here.
I'm sure you could probably find a few wolves, maybe a bear that help you.
I could. I just don't think it's the greatest expenditure of our time.
That's fair.
Dead orcs are dead orcs. We should, I don't know, pile them and burn them, and then keep moving.
Strip them of all of their Frostline insignias, just to be safe.
Anybody got problems with that?
Actually, we probably want to leave them with their Frostline insignias and viewable, right? We want people to find the fact that the Frostline has hired the services of an orcish army.
That's true.
Yes, I agree.
And we have paperwork that proves that.
Yes.
Speaking of which, since I'm not a bear anymore, I'm going to pull out the feather in my cap and turn it into a little bird and tell it to give a message to Caldorius that there are demons on the plain in Stormtop and a white dragon rider. Please advise and send a message back post-haste southbound on the
I forgot I gave you that
Rancid. As soon as possible, and I'll throw it up in the air and send it off.
All right. The little blue jay. We're gonna say it's a blue jay for now. Let's say it's a different bird every time. I think that's even cooler.
That's the best.
So this little blue jay sort of, flies up, circles around for a little bit, and just flies south. Immediately takes off.
While he is doing that,
yeah,
I would like to do a quick cursory investigation.
Yeah, what do you want to check out?
Loot.
Oh, you're looking to loot these gentlemen and see what kind of things these orcs might have on them?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, why don't you make me an investigation check?
14.
14. All right, so you start to do like a cursory search of all of these orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody want to join him at all?
Sure, I'll help.
I shall also investigate these orc bodies because I think it's important we find out what they're up to.
What is it? Perception? Investigation?
Investigation. And I'm quite good at it.
9.
18.
Hooray.
All right.
So right now, just for your note, Nathaniel, I'm playing Bandits on the Bridge on loop.
Ooh.
I figured it had a nice
Good choice, good choice.
What we're doing.
So you guys begin to search all the orcs that are there. So in addition to all of the mundane items you find, so you find, and I'll sort of name them off. You find a couple great axes, battle axes, war hammers, and like clubs. You also find probably about a dozen or maybe even like 20 javelins that are kind of crudely made, but definitely very usable if you want to take those. There's all sorts of clothing and stuff. A lot of their armor has been ruined by the combat, but a few of them have some medium-sized hide armor that you could take if you wanted to take that. And they all have like boots and hats and those type of things. in addition to all the mundane stuff, you guys do find a total of what adds up to about 10 gold pieces of coin on a few of them, and 30 gold pieces on some of the others. So a total of 40 altogether.
All right.
And you find a nice looking light crossbow as well. The light crossbow looks like it's really well made. It's obviously not made by orcs. It's probably something that one of them stole or took or was given or something like that.
Do any of them have any
Yes.
symbols
Give it.
or objects from their orcish tribe, like that to show what tribe they're native or that they're from?
Why don't you make me a perception check?
I will attempt to, because that's really the best that Viz can ever do. 17.
That's pretty good.
All right. So you look a little more closely at the bodies. You start to turn them over. You're looking for maybe jewelry or tattoo markings or any kind of thing that would signify, what culture they come from.
Yeah, like a necklace
and
or
you-
something.
Yeah, and a lot of them are filled with a lot of them have strange tattoos and strange jewelry and stuff, but part of this is also you're looking for like a common thread because you don't know their culture. You don't know what's similar. But you end up finding a symbol that you imagine is their, it's common that like at least 3/4 of them have this symbol either tattooed on them or in an actual like crude symbol that they've made of some sort.
I'll grab one of the ones.
like a totem.
I'll grab a totem, and can I make a history check on the totem to see if I can remember anything from my readings about orcish tribes, what that might be?
Yeah, you can certainly try. It'll be a very difficult check.
And I don't
Yeah,
make
no.
a very difficult save, so
No, you're like, you're like orcs. Yep.
it's orcish in nature. Let's keep going.
But it definitely you're pretty sure at least it represents their tribe.
All right. Well, I'll keep it with me. Maybe we can find an expert, or I'll find a book of some kind to help us guide.
So yeah, just put it in your your notes as like
yes, put in my inventory.
like orcish tribe, or orcish tribal symbol, if you want to call it something along those lines.
Deal.
All right. So, you guys are, you searched these bodies somewhat. You found, did somebody take that crossbow?
I was gonna throw it at Viz, and say that he should probably. have that.
I throw it to literally anyone else and say it is quite useless in my hands, good friend.
I will put it in my backpack.
All right. Like when it's one of those things about you, and when you handle it, it's like, it's definitely really nice. It's one of those things. It's just like it's really well crafted. It's got some, some scroll work and carving and stuff like that into it, and would definitely fetch a pretty penny, anywhere. Like this would be like a prized piece in somebody's collection.
It
or something
doesn't
like that.
seem magical, right?
No, not offhand. I mean, you can make an Arcana check if you wish.
I'll do a quick Arcana check.
Yeah. Your Arcana's pretty good.
It is, fortunately. 26, yes.
Yeah, you're pretty sure it's not magical, but it's definitely really nice.
Alright, cool.
So you can value, and you can put that that's yet to be appraised because nobody's really appraised it.
Yeah, that's not quite a check anymore, is it?
Yeah, but if I mean, I would imagine that someone who has the appropriate kind of background would be able to do a check on it to figure out what it's worth.
Oh man, I don't know anything about crossbows.
No, you don't. Not specifically crossbows. That's true.
I mean, I guess I would know a thing or two about mechanics. I could appraise it on that sense.
Well, like I said, I mean, looking at it, you're like, well, this is definitely a nice crossbow, so it'll probably fetch quite a bit more than a regular crossbow would fetch.
What would
Which,
Yeah, what would you say
it
would be an appropriate check as I like flip open the mechanics, kind of undo the string, sort of see how why it's so well fit together?
Yeah, you can. Let's see. Oh my. What does it say when I click on this? Hold on.
Although a crossbow's... That's something you just keep strung, right? You know, it's not like a bow where you would de-string a bow.
It depends on the crossbow.
Yeah, I suppose.
And how-
Because it really only gets
how good
tension
it
on
is.
it when it's drawn, and you only really draw it right before you shoot it.
Yeah, and how well you... It's kind of like maintaining a gun with
Yeah,
when you,
keeping
know,
the string
assemble it,
oiled and
clean it, and
everything.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, you've done me a disservice, 5th edition.
Oh. I mean,
Where-
investigation, I feel like, would be the closest.
Yeah, I feel like there's
Yeah.
not
And I'm quite good at that as well. If I can roll anything better than a 5.
Yeah, isn't this like an artificer as well?
He's
Some
a
which-
mechanic
Which
engineer.
usually you can.
No, usually I cannot. Thank you for reminding me, Kensington.
No
Well, I
problem.
guess- I
no
guess the way
problem.
that this
It-
would
it
be-
lovingly,
Of course, of
obviously.
course.
Okay, so I'm just gonna have you make me an untrained, like a non-proficient
So just like
intelligence check.
yeah, just an int, a knowledge check.
Yeah, because it says, you know, intelligence checks come into play when you need to draw on logic, education, memory, or deductive reasoning. And so it'd be like your accuracy of recall, your ability to reason, those type
Well,
of things.
Surprisingly,
Um,
my baseline int check is still better than my perception check. So a +5, we go with a 14.
Yeah, 14. You think it's worth at least 200 gold pieces?
All right, with a 14, yeah,
Wow.
close to
200.
even.
At least.
I'll say we'll think it's worth 200, but when we ask for the price, we'll say it's worth 250. You know, it's always worth inflating a little bit.
Now, yes. Now you're cooking.
Speaking
Alrighty.
of cooking, do we want to burn these orcs or just leave a pile or what?
Well, so did you send off that message?
Yeah, oh yeah, that message has been gone 15 minutes.
So you told them to look for these corpses, right?
No, that was to Caldorius
Oh.
to tell him that there was a demon in
I mean, we could
Stormtop.
we could sort of light. I don't know. We could light a fire here and clear out the area so that smoke's rising, and people come check it out and find all the orcs' corpses.
Well, who's gonna check it out now? I mean, the elves that were in Stormtop were
That
headed
is
out.
true. They
The
fucking
Storm Rider, they
bailed.
booked.
Wait, am I missing something? What's the problem with leaving these corpses here?
I mean, nothing. We were
there's
just.
no
I'm
problem.
trying to wonder if we can make
I'm-
use of them in some way.
No, I think they're
And-
orc corpses. We should
yeah,
leave
we
them.
should
Maybe pile them, and leave a big "We worked for the Frostline," sign.
Well, I mean, if we
Um,
just leave all the Frostline insignias in view, that sends that message.
Yeah.
I think we are
and-
wasting time and should just go.
Let's keep going to Chisitos, right? No, we already went
Oh,
past that.
also, I do wanna put in that to mention, there was no sign of them wearing Frostline insignias.
Oh. Wow.
That's something that you guys have inserted. They like you assume because they were orcs and non-friendly that they worked with the Frostline. But they weren't wearing gray cloaks with the Frostline, or
Well, we
bluish
did
gray
fire
cloaks
the
with
first
Frostline
shot.
insignias.
No, we didn't. They threw a javelin at me.
Oh, never mind. Good. Glad we mauled them up. Got their blood all over the place.
Listen, I've made friends with orcs, but those guys definitely wanted to kill us. So,
But no, I'm just saying that it's not to say that they weren't necessarily associated with them, but they just
True.
didn't have those specific trappings.
yeah,
So
we might
there's
have
no
just
like
cleaned up some
symbols.
loose
Yeah.
ends that we didn't want to clean up. Whoever knows, we should probably just hit the road.
Yeah, let's just keep going. Towards the boat.
There we go.
We're going southwest to where the boat is meant to find us.
Okay, so you guys are traveling. Let's go back to the map of Kel for a second.
I think it's
Map of Kel!
southwest as far as directions
Kel.
to go.
All right.
Bam.
So let's zoom in on the northwest quadrant
Yeah.
where you guys
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
I'm going to put little shapes up in here.
Zoom it in real tight.
So you guys can imagine that you are about an hour or so. So that purple dot is where you guys are headed.
Mm-hmm.
And in hopes that you can get back down to Old Douglas, we're gonna remove that. That's no longer. So you guys have like probably another day's travel or so before you get there, as that's about as much time as you guys have spent previously traveling up this way. So what's the plan? I mean, you can travel on the road, you can travel off the road. So far, you've taken to traveling off the road.
It seems safest for the time being, while people are fleeing and slaughtering each other on the roads.
Yeah,
And-
large groups of people, not really the best thing to be around in a panic situation, right?
No, no.
All right. So it is at the. Let's see. Let's double check everything here.
I'm gonna take this lull to welcome Commander Root and Electrical Longboard. Thanks for
What
watching,
up?
guys. We do this every week. Hope you're enjoying it.
Welcome to the stream, yeah.
Stick around. We're gonna be
Boss.
doing this for like the next fucking 2 hours, and you're gonna love it.
Forever. No, not just the next 2 hours. At least the next 2 years. Probably next 2 decades.
Non-stop.
It's
Yeah.
been going 7 years strong, right?
Yeah, it has. It's
At least.
ridiculous. We started playing together
So-
in 2012. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yep.
technically, Tommy and I have been playing together almost without.
Technically,
stop.
Joey and I have been playing together.
Oh,
How long? Joe, what we talking? Since I was what?
2 decades?
13?
But,
yeah.
almost
like
we were,
15,
we were
Almost
super
20
young.
years?
Yeah, nearly 2
Almost 20
decades.
years? And John, you and I almost 10 years?
Non-stop.
Consecutively?
Though. Yeah, like because we've started and then it's just been since.
It's just been going.
No, 2008.
Ben and I been gaming.
Oh yeah, no, 2009.
Dark
It's been
Age
a long
style.
time.
Boom. DAOC.
no, dude.
Final Fantasy XI.
Diablo.
Diablo 2. Way
Diablo
back.
Dos.
Diablo 2, the old days,
Yeah, Diablo.
even before the expansion pack.
Let's get
Yeah.
the party before venturing forth.
That was not Diablo 2.
No, that was
We could-
Baldur's Gate.
That was Baldur's Gate.
Can you name it? Can you name
Same
it?
Company?
No, God. All right.
No.
Get your facts straight.
Blizzard did.
Blizzard and Wizards.
Oh, BioWare did fucking
Blizzards.
Yeah, Bioware.
Blizzard,
did
Wizards.
Baldur's Gate. Sorry.
Wizards of the Coast and Blizzards. Yeah, we're Blizzard.
Blizzards of the Wizards.
The Blizzards of the Coast. That's it.
Yeah,
What?
That's why we're so confused.
You guys are all talking nonsense.
of course, of course. Yes, back to plans and traveling and
Right. So back to what we were talking about.
We have a day-
is
Day worth of travel.
so
and we
it
need-
is currently the 2nd of Min-K. Right?
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
maybe.
Yeah, because it was Harvest,
It was the Harvest
Fest
Fest,
was
yeah.
the day that it happened, and then there was a night, and then
We'd never
traveled-
forget that Harvest Fest.
Well, no. So this would be the
So,
first.
as
Then.
long as
Oh,
we
today
live.
is the first.
Yeah, if it's
Today
the
is
day after the
first.
Harvest Fest, then it's the first.
Yeah,
I
Well, and
remember.
you guys traveled. Well, you guys traveled through the night.
all night. So
On the
that
Harvest
would have been
Fest.
the first.
Well, into the
And
first.
then
And now.
did you guys you camped out during the
Yeah,
daytime, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
a long time in the.
So
smugglers'
it would
camp.
make today
so
when
today
you guys
is
slaughtered
second.
the orcs.
Yes.
There we go. The second.
Well, gee, the omnipotent voice in the sky was right.
Wow.
How
How
dare
be
you
it?
doubt him?
The sky kept turning, and you were
Alright,
like, oh, wait,
now
maybe
we
it
know
is
what
the
day.
second. that merchant that passed by was like, yeah, man, it's the second. I got a meeting.
The dead orc picks up his head. He's like, I believe it's the second. Blah.
So just to remind you all of timelines that you have, currently the pickup from Ringo is supposed to be on the 8th. the hope is that you guys are hoping that you'll be able to find him earlier than
Well, I
that.
assume shit going to shit would expedite everybody's travel plans.
One would hope. And then Viz, you have something set up on the 20th.
Of Minkei, yes. I'm to
Yeah,
meet
to meet Jake
my
in the Arches.
who I am worried about and may want to actually check in before then.
Very possible. You're scheduled to meet him at the Silver Rat
In
in the Arches,
Arches.
which we have yet to
even
explore.
go to. It is on the way though, so we may be able to
Potentially-
get there a little bit sooner.
Potentially is on the way to wherever you guys are headed.
I will request from the party, knowing the sensitive nature of my meeting with Jake and
Jake.
everything that's happening. Would anyone mind us taking that stop in the Arches along the way to the Verdun Islands? Isles of Verdun.
Yeah, I love the arches this time of year.
Yes. Okay. Well done. Thank you.
Hey, my pleasure.
And I mean
Jacob,
that's
Jacob's a
granted
young
you
man.
guys find some sort of passage to
Yeah, that's
Well, Ringo.
you know.
to the Isles.
Didn't-
Well, I mean nothing's
Yeah.
been worked out.
we
That's
had a
true.
gentleman's agreement.
Well, I mean, Ringo has agreed to take us back to Old Bellows.
Yes.
Now, from there, we may have to find other shipment to Verdunia, but let's not hope.
I think
Let's hope
Ringo
not.
will be convinced. I think he'll want to keep going with us.
I think Ringo knows a good thing when he sees it, and our party,
Alright, well,
although
let's-
we have very
can-
much misfortune,
We can.
we may be a good thing for him.
We could continue to talk about it, or we could maybe go talk to him.
Well,
don't
I
know.
was considering that this is a
He says
conversation we're
standing next to
happening-
an orc corpse.
Well, I assume we're walking through the woods at this point, southbound.
Oh, I hadn't
Walking
heard
is
that. There was
backwards.
there was no talk of walking.
Oh well, come on, guys. It's
Okay. You guys, leave the orc corpses where they are and start to walk through the woods in the direction that Kenny senses. Kenny, make me a survival check as you start marching the part
I
of the
can-
woods.
do that with gusto, hopefully. Let me
As
just,
Walden says, we can talk about this later, and Kenny's like, "Aren't we walking?" And everyone looks around like, "No."
You wanted a survival?
I do want a survival check as you
That
begin
I
to lead the party.
A 25.
25. That's a 19 plus your innate abilities there. So that's pretty good. Kenny basically finds you guys a game trail. He's like, "How about that? Game trail, angles up with the sun, points in a few directions, making some triangles and other things like that with his hands, making it look more impressive, and points down the game trail. South. So Kenny, you begin to lead the party south.
I'm gonna ask Viz to take lead for a couple of minutes, and I'm gonna cover our tracks
Right then.
for like 200 yards. I'm just gonna be like, follow this trail for 200 yards.
Will do.
Just
Let's keep going.
Keep walking.
Then.
Sing a shanty in your head, and by the time you're done, stop. I'll meet you in 5 minutes.
All right. So you're gonna attempt to cover your tracks and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it so that people won't be able to follow us through these game trails.
Alrighty. Can you make me let's see, a deception check?
Let me check. No. Not very well, but
now
yeah,
what?
I can.
I'm looping Thesselbaum's theme.
A 7.
Oh,
All right.
no.
So you start,
Awesome, man.
you just start breaking some branches and stuff and sweeping it across the snow over where your footprints are, over where basically your party's footprints are. Because I think you pass without trace, right?
I don't have that without casting it. I
Oh, okay.
believe in 5th edition. We have that in.
That was in
3.5.
3.5. All right.
Yep.
I'm
I think it's
still
a spell or something that I get, but
So, you begin to cover your tracks and stuff like that. It doesn't go phenomenally, but it goes okay. Enough that you can't probably tell how many people crossed the path, because something's been done to it. But it just looks like someone messed up all the tracks and stuff like that, a whole bunch.
For 200 yards, I'm gonna do that. Even at an 8, unless after like 50 yards I stop and like I think I can do better. Yeah, I'll just.
I mean,
Okay,
it's one of
then
those
I'm just
things that
gonna
you
make
don't
the-
really have like a second try on. It's one of those
Yeah.
just like, yeah, you do it. and
That'll fuck him up for a while.
Yeah, you're small. You do an okay job at it. It's not great.
Let's. I meet back up with the party. All right. Well, I get my best shot. Let's go.
And so you guys are going to begin to head southward down this game trail. And basically it's, let's see. I'm going to have somebody, one of you guys, you can elect who. Actually, before I even tell you what it is, why don't you elect me one party member?
Well, we're all standing in the woods. We're going to do something right now. Who would like to do it?
I will.
Alright.
Val Ewan.
Val volunteers. We have our Patsy.
He's got my vote.
Val volunteers. Val, can you roll me a d20?
Val volunteers for
Val,
tribute.
you-
Ooh, right in the middle of the road.
A 10. All right. So you guys begin to walk south. The snows are, I'd say, about ankle deep or so on all of our medium-sized folk. On our small folk, we're talking at least maybe up to your knees or so. But
gonna,
I would
like,
assume that
Walk
you're
in
probably
somebody's
walking
footsteps.
walking in the tracks behind somebody else. And so you guys travel, and you're marching through the snows. You've got your winter boots on. You've got your cloaks wrapped around you. Today it's actually not too bad out. It's like 45 degrees. There's like a little bit of cloud cover. And the wind's, only like a little bit whipping off the coast that's, a couple miles away or so. And the afternoon sort of melts away into, becoming low light and time to probably find a place to bed down for the evening. There hasn't really been too much in the way of trouble or anything like that throughout the day. Not a lot of animal activity. Especially on the game trail. Similarly, Kenny, you notice that there's not a lot of bird activity either. Though you do hear the occasional, like shout or something like that in the distance, which makes you guys stop for a few minutes. But then things sort of, again, silence will fill the area and things will sort of die down. So it seems like you guys have found yourself in safe passage without anybody else nearby.
Hey, Nita.
Yeah.
So it's beginning to get dark a little bit, and like I said, it's time to find a place to bed down. So Kenny, are you still leading our party?
Yeah, I will be if they want me to look for place to sleep.
You are the only one I would trust to do this.
All right. Well, I will do my best to find us a hidey hole to bed down for the night.
Alrighty, you know the drill.
16.
Pretty good. Pretty good spot.
That's pretty good. So, Kenny, in similar fashion to the time before, to the previous night, actually, you lead our party to a small clearing, and the clearing basically there's a small source of water that's probably maybe half a mile away or so, and this seems to have a strong line of trees running down one side of it, and sort of a more of a loose brush and forest undergrowth and such off to the west, and this strong line of trees off to the east, which you imagine would block any sort of view of anybody trying to come through. You do your usual business, which I'm pretty used to by now, I imagine, of burying your fire a little bit.
Taking
and-
time to be safe.
Yeah. and you know, you guys have plenty of room to set up. The question is, do you guys set up tents and stuff like that?
If it
We
is
could-
cold, then yes.
We could
I
be here
mean,
for a day.
As
Like,
the
we
temperature
could s-
starts to, you know, the sun starts to go down, the temperature does start to drop.
Yeah, I'm not a roughing it type.
Let's
I agree. Comfort would be nice. Let's
Well, it'll
set up a
take-
couple of tents.
take some time, but we could probably build, you know, one big tent over the fire pit with a flap.
We could attempt to do that. Yes.
Sure, whatever you guys want.
We do have the winter tent.
Yeah, you do have a winter tent, definitely.
I will set it up.
I will aid.
All right. So you guys go about setting up at least one tent, which should be enough for the four of you, or rather the five of you, to sleep in. They're fairly spacious. It's more like a, you know, one of those classic, either like Civil War or Revolutionary War, like reenactment movies,
Okay.
where they've got those big
Like
kind
the
of
big
tents.
square
that-
tents.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those big square tents that have like, you know, like two central posts and like two outposts, and it kind of like makes a big tent basically, with a bunch of ropes and stuff like that as well. So you guys set up your tent in this clearing. You each have winter bedrolls and stuff like that you lay out. And you know, Billy Bob sort of settles in, and asks, "You don't mind if I play the harmonica a little bit?"
Go right ahead.
All right. So Billy Bob kind of leans back and it begins to play a little bit of slow, kind of like lonely music on his harmonica.
Billy, man.
And he says, "You know, this is a song I heard not long before I left Old Bellows by a couple of new folks who came riding into town. Two elves, brothers, said they wrote this song themselves. It's called Gallisbury." And he begins to just, you know, play this sad, lonely song on his harmonica. And you know, it's sort of peaceful for you guys as you settle in for the night. Are you guys gonna set any watches or anything like that tonight?
Yes.
I will take first watch.
I'll take second.
I'll take third.
I'll have the last watch then.
There we go. So for our first watch,
If anyone wants to quickly listen to the stream, I have some wonderful harmonica music playing.
oh, thank you. Little sad, lonely Gallisbury song.
Yes.
Now,
Nice.
Val, you're on first watch.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go ahead and answer this question? Do you like things high or low?
High.
High. You like it high. You're gonna stay on the high side.
Higher and higher.
Let's see. All right. So, Val, you in your first watch, it's probably like 3 or 2 hours long or so. Maybe a little bit longer, because you
Mhm.
guys sort of have to, you know, take numerous shifts so you can kind of get through the night. Everyone's sort of bedding down and stuff. And after Billy Bob, you know, finishes his tune and eventually puts his harmonica away, you know, your companions all sort of drift off to sleep. About halfway through your watch, you hear like shouting, basically, far away. Probably, if you were to give it a guess, probably like a couple miles away to your north. And it sounds like someone calling out. You can't hear what they're saying because it's an extremely long distance away. But more in the distance, it just sort of sounds like, and it goes on for maybe 30 seconds or so, and then stops.
Huh.
And you do one of those things where for the next like half hour, 45 minutes, you're kind of on edge.
Definitely.
But you don't hear any sounds of weird animals approaching or footsteps or anything like that. And over the course of the next like 2 hours of your watch, everything sort of kind of goes back to normal. And not to the point that you forget about what happened, but to the point that it seems like, oh, well, whatever it was, it must have passed, or like, I don't know what it was, but it's obviously not a problem right now. So is there anything that you want to do about that? It doesn't really become much of a problem.
I will wake up Viz, but also stay awake an extra hour just in case.
Okay.
I will tell him about it.
Yeah, so what do you tell Viz?
Do I recall that the shouts sound familiar from before?
What do you mean?
Because we heard shouting when we were escaping, but does it sound familiar?
I wouldn't say it sounds familiar in the sense that you like recognize the voice.
Okay.
But in the sense that it sounds like the shouting that you heard before, yeah, you could say so.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I will awaken Viz and tell him, stay alert. There seems to be someone shouting. I'm not sure if they are following us or not. But I will stay awake with you.
No, it's alright, Fal. You get to sleep. I'll wake you if anything happens. I have no qualms shouting everyone awake.
Okay.
Viz will keep a vigilant watch, and instead of doing his other activities, which he usually does, like, read on his notes or transfer over some spells, or whatever, he's gonna pay attention to his surroundings for the night.
And I will lay down, but I will not sleep right away.
Okay. So Viz, you sort of pick up the watch here. I'm gonna ask you the same question. Do you like things high? Do you like things low?
Well, it's getting a little creepy, so let's keep things low. Let's calm things down if we want.
Calm things down a little bit. All right. Let us calm things down. So, Viz, especially after Falyuan warned you of this shouting that he heard, you're on edge for this first hour. And then eventually you hear Falyuan start to drift off to sleep. His breathing becomes more like paced and slow. And you can hear that he's definitely, no longer awake.
Viz smiles to himself. Oh, the boy.
And so, it doesn't feel... It's cool. It's cold outside. And, you're sort of, I imagine, doing your sort of walk around camp, going out into the woods a little bit, coming back, maybe sitting for a while, sort of keeping regular watch. And nothing out of the ordinary happens. None of this shouting that Falyuan talked about happens or anything like that. And all seems to be relatively quiet. And the rest of your watch goes off without a problem.
Well, good news for those who don't deserve it.
And Fal, you continue to sleep through the night. So who is our third watchman?
Viz will stand up, stretch out, and start to shake Walden awake. Walden,
Oh, hi.
It's alright, nothing.
Don't touch my neck.
Oh, whoa. It's alright, boy. I just wanted to warn you on your watch. Foul on his watch heard some yelling, mysterious yelling off in the distance, and I didn't hear anything on my watch, but that doesn't mean it's gone away, so stay vigilant. And Viz
You got it,
will
man.
bunker down.
All right. So, Walden, I'm going to ask you the same question.
Let's go low. I would also like to take this time to let everyone know I'm drinking Mountain Dew Game Fuel unironically.
Also, I would like to let the audience know he may or may not be
Good old
becoming
bucket
a
of jizz.
father. So, keep that in mind.
What's what?
He's trying to destroy himself with Mountain Dew before becoming a father.
Oh yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
All right.
Okay.
So you're drinking it unironically.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And you're staying low through your
Staying
watch.
low.
Staying low. All right. So you think this shouting that Viz was talking about must be a little. Okay.
Sorry. Can I set myself up? I wanted to not be in the tent,
Yeah.
but
What do
like
you
sort of
wanna be
have
doing?
it. I wanted to make a stealth check so I'm hidden, but I have my gun out and I could see the tent area.
Okay, so like maybe like you're like tucked away in the beginning of the tree line or something like that instead.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and make me a stealth check then first?
21.
All right. So you find yourself pretty well hidden. You're kind of like crouched under these trees, tucked up underneath like some brush and stuff. And you have really good sights on just the coals that are sort of smoldering now from your campfire. And you can see, both of the flaps of the tent. And sitting there kind of huddled up, you wait. You feel like you're waiting for this sound that Viz was mentioning before to happen. And you continue to wait, and you don't hear anything along those lines. You don't hear any kind of, shouts or rustles or anything like that. Why don't you go ahead and make me a perception check?
Alrighty. Got a +2. 20.
A 20. Okay. The only thing that strikes you as odd in the night is that close to the end of your watch, way far in the distance, you feel like it's. Let's see. How good of a sense of direction does your character have?
Walden?
Yeah.
Unless he's in a city, he really doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Okay, so you're like, you hear a sound. You hear this sound in a direction. I will say it's to your left. So you don't know if it's east, west, north, or south. You're not really
But
sure.
as he's staring at the tent, it's to his left.
It would be one of those things where he would be able to point to somebody else in which direction it was, and someone would be able to probably discern roughly what
Discern that direction.
But you hear very faintly the sound of a bell tolling. It tolls for 10 times, and then stops.
Okay.
Oh. Is it 10 o'clock at night?
Not by your count.
I mean, I'm asleep.
Not by anybody's count.
Or trancing, whatever elves do. I'm alming through the night.
Alright. Cool.
And no other further sounds or anything like that. And your night sort of goes off without a hitch.
10
So-
bells.
Kenny is the last to be woken.
That would be
Oh.
me.
I'll kick him in the ribs a little bit.
Oh Jesus!
Gently.
Boy, I'm awake. Jesus.
Hey man, I heard like a creepy bell tolling 10 times in the distance here. So you might want to just keep your eye on that.
What? Where? In what direction?
Left.
He points left. Kenny, you don't have to make a check. You're a druid, and you've been the one directing the party.
Mhm.
It's to the west.
Oh. Huh. 10 bells. That might be our ride. Ooh,
Okay, cool.
we should head that way. Once we've had breakfast, which I will make after I do my meditation.
Yeah, great. I'm gonna get some shut eye.
Alright.
All right. So Walden, you settle back in the tent.
I take it it's just about dawn.
Yeah, it is pretty much dawn. You know, it's like everybody's gonna sleep in just a little bit to make sure that they get all their hours and everything like
Well,
that.
Viz is up because he only needs 4 hours of trancing. So,
Look at this guy,
hey,
4-hour trance bastard.
Hey, why don't you make the breakfast? I'm gonna go pray to my god.
Isn't it you need 4 hours uninterrupted?
yeah. And I got my 4 hours on Fowl's watch.
On Fal's 3-hour watch.
Oh, they're 3 hours? Never mind. All right, I'm asleep.
What? Taking a little time now.
Oh, that's right. We do 3-hour watches. Sorry, GM.
Yeah, because it doesn't need to be, or else it would be you guys resting for 16 hours.
Yeah,
which
and
is
that's
a long
just
time.
silly.
12 hours is more like it because you guys usually make camp right around dark and then wake up around morning.
Yeah.
So Kenny, what are you up
That's
to during
me.
your watch?
I'm gonna head, since it's just about daybreak, I'm gonna head out and watch the camp. You know, maybe. Is there? What kind of trees are around? Some
Big ones?
evergreens.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's
I'm
like
gonna,
a.
I'm gonna go.
You want me to start naming trees?
No, I'm just gonna go find a nice tree to climb that I can keep an eye on camp, and spend
Okay.
the rest of my watch watching camp, and after that I'll do my meditation for the morning.
All right, and I'm going to ask you the same question I asked your 3 companions.
Unlike my last 2 companions, I'm gonna keep this party on a high note for the end of the watch.
Started high, ended high.
In a
Alright.
tree.
In a tree, high in a tree.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So,
what Kenny's doing.
Kenny, you begin to climb this tree. You're fairly small, so why don't you make me an athletics check, if you don't mind?
I do not mind at all to make a check that hold on.
And this is more of just it's a fairly easy check, so I'm not trying to go anything I'm not trying to hit anything out of the park.
Oh well.
Oh,
Okay,
my,
so Kenny, you
well.
don't do so well. So Kenny, you only get about like 2/3 of the way up the tree.
Sweet.
Before, like, it's one of those things that you get most of the way up, and you're like, I don't know, it's a little breezy. Like I'm still kind of tired from last night, so I'm good. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay 2/3 of the way
Right
up
here.
the tree.
Yeah, I mean that's 2/3 to me is like all the way almost. you know?
Almost, right?
Hey. That's
In
why...
in gnome years, right?
Yeah. What? No.
So you settle up in the tree, and you begin to watch over the camp from like above a little bit. And as you're sitting there, you begin to smell wood smoke.
I'm gonna look around to see if I can see any rising.
Well, you look around and your campfire's not going.
Oh no,
So it's
I
not
know
coming
that
from
my-
your camp. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know that.
Oh,
So
yeah. Why don't you make me a perception check?
Active perception
Actively, yes.
with my
Actively
spyglass that I'll
perceive.
pull out of my
Oh, you're gonna pull
pocket.
out the spyglass too. Okay.
Hell yeah! Looking around with some.
3/4 of the way up a
advantage.
tree.
Just now it's 3/4.
Oh,
I
was it?
mean, 2/3, but who's
2/3,
counting,
sorry.
right? It's almost 3/4.
It's basically all the way up.
Yeah, it's
Shut
practically.
Up, Liz.
It's practically.
I'm just kidding.
It's over 50%.
+6. All right, so 15.
15. All right. So you begin to look around. You see a considerable amount of smoke
Oh,
rising from the east.
oh.
The east.
You
That's
would
the road.
guess. Oh, it's probably 3 miles off.
Like considerable meaning like
Oh, like it's
somebody
like something serious is on fire.
like
It would be
somebody
one of those
burned.
things. Like this would be like it would be like a house fire. Like that's the amount of smoke. So we're talking like thick black smoke, just like straight up rising
Belching into
and
the
plumes
air,
of
smell wood.
as it were.
3 miles, you say?
Yeah,
I'm gonna look, and you said that's in the eastward direction,
is in the eastward direction.
and in the westward direction, what do I see?
Well, there's a big tree blocking your way because you're only 2/3 of the way up.
Well, I mean, if I like lean out
we're,
and
like-
look west, the opposite
yeah,
direction
you
of
look
all the
west.
smoke.
You can't quite see to the coast, but you can see, a bunch of the tops of the trees and the stuff like that.
And
You don't
then,
see
like,
anything out
maybe-
of the ordinary.
Okay. I mean, assuming
It's one of those things from your height advantage and the side that you're on. You can't really see too far in many directions. You can see a decent ways to the east, but your westward views and stuff like that are blocked by other larger trees and other things like that as well.
Okay, so something very big is on fire to the east. I'm gonna like climb down the tree. I assume that this happens early in my watch.
Yeah, probably about halfway through.
I mean, yeah, I'll climb down the tree and just keep alert at like the base of the tree for the rest of my watch, and then once my watch is over, I'll come in and tell everybody
Well, about
about
halfway through your watch, Viz like trances out.
Yeah, Viz does one of those things. I imagine he's like sitting. You see him from a distance, like you can just spy him through like the flaps in the tent. Everybody else is laying down in their bunk, and Viz is just sitting cross-legged in the middle of his.
You're so
Um,
weird.
And all you see from a distance is his eyes shoot open and him do one of those like type of things. And it's like, I imagine every elf waking up is the scariest thing to anybody of any other race because it's like they're traveling the ethereal plane. I imagine for like 4 hours.
Oh, it's quite the
And then all of a
adventure.
sudden it's just like
I
boom,
like-
they're straight back.
I like lock eyes with you, Viz. I'm like, come here.
What? What's happening? I guess I'll.
You see him visibly in the tree.
I'll levitate up to him. Womp, 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 womp,
You're
womp.
like, that's a large owl.
Not yet. We'll wait for it.
So I
Just wait for
levitate
it.
up to Kensington in the tree.
Yes. I pull out my spyglass and point you in the easterly direction towards the plumes of black smoke
I
3
will
miles off.
see if I see that with the
Yeah,
spyglass.
I mean,
you don't
it's-
have to
it's
make a
fairly-
check.
Oh.
He's pointed it out to you.
I'm like, there is smoke.
Oh, there is quite a bit of smoke. Is that towards the road?
Yes. So
So,
either something
bandit
very
attack?
big is on, well, maybe bandits, orcs, anybody fleeing. I mean, that could be a cart. That could be.
It could be the demon.
I mean, I doubt it. But at this point, it's not Shishitos because that'd be too far. It would be more
That'd be
far
north.
north.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's another, roadhouse about a day south travel from Shishitos, which is about where we are. It could be the next stop,
Oh, way station.
We may need to hurry our descent to Old
Well,
Bellows.
what else? Anything else happened during the night on Walden's watch?
10 bells to the westward direction. I think we're about where we need to be to get picked
A
up.
boat, maybe?
Could be. He
boat.
said it happened around dawn.
Well, hopefully they're still there.
We need to expedite breakfast
Yes.
this morning.
I think
pack
this
camp,
morning's just
and-
going to be
yeah.
a walk with trails ration sort of breakfast.
I think so too. I'm gonna go take my hour to meditate. I'm just gonna.
I'll
go sit
start
back up in
packing
that
things
tree.
up for you. I'll grab you when
Great.
people start waking up.
See you in an hour.
Yep.
I'm gonna
So-
go up into the tree, Tom, or stay up in the tree where I was, facing the easterly direction, and just kind of meditate on my
Prepare your
stuff
spells and such for the day.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So within the hour, the rest of your companions begin to wake up. And and Viz, you start to get the camp together with Billy Bob's help.
So, Tom, there's a little game mechanic I want to let you know of and remind myself of. Apparently, after a long rest, I roll 2 d20s and record the numbers rolled, and I can replace any attack, saving throw, or ability check made by a creature that I can see or myself with one of these rolls.
What's that now?
It's because of my wizard thing. I'm a divination.
Oh, because you're a wizard thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I just
Cool.
wanted to let you know that I do that now. I'm gonna roll.
I was
2
like,
d20s.
that's not a game mechanic that everybody gets.
I'm like, you know that thing we all do,
That's-
remember?
You know that thing that happens in 5th edition where we all get to make random rerolls throughout the
Just
whole
like
thing?
whenever the fuck we want. Yeah, I'm doing
Yeah,
that.
just whenever most
All
convenient.
right, so a nat 20, holy shit, and a 13.
Go.
That's pretty awesome.
Pretty helpful.
good.
Nice.
All right.
Now, additionally, I think when you guys complete a long rest, aren't there some hit dice you guys? can
Oh
spend?
yes, may I?
Isn't that a thing?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I get all my abilities thing. Everybody gets everything back.
What do
which
I?
is
I
nice.
just roll.
All you have to do is click on that long rest button there on your D&D Beyond character sheet.
yeah.
Thank you.
Whoa. D&D Beyond.
A long rest period of extended downtime, at least 8 hours long, during which a character sleeps or performs light activity, such as reading, talking, eating, or standing watch for no more than 2 hours.
Oh.
The rest is uninterrupted by a period of strenuous. If the rest is uninterrupted by a period of strenuous activity, at least 1 hour of walking, fighting, casting spells, or similar adventuring activity, the character must begin the rest again and gain any benefit from it. So, you can recover up to 2 hit dice worth of health during a long rest.
All right.
So we will say that the rests only have to be 8 hours long, and that you need to only take the watch will be 2 hours. You're a party of 4, so that works out just fine.
All right. Fair.
So it is morning. It is now
Careful. Yeah.
the 20. Oh, sorry, not the 20. It is the 3rd of Minkei. It's a cool morning. It is not as warm as yesterday. It has not risen above freezing this morning, so it is still in the high 20s when you guys wake up.
Ooh, nippy.
And there's no new snow or anything like that that has fallen, but there's definitely a chill in the air. That's for sure.
And smoke. Don't forget.
There is also.
There's also
And
smoke.
wood smoke.
I
So you guys
said,
begin to pack up your camp a little bit, as sort of stated, and we'll sort of set the scene there. In camp, in this small clearing, you have this large line of trees on the eastern side, and sort of some looser trees on the west side, or rather, vice versa. Sorry about that. So some loose trees on the east side, and this line of trees on the west. And you can see, or you can definitely smell this smoke coming from the east. So, what do you guys do?
Perhaps we should get away from that smoke.
I was thinking somewhat of the same thing.
Then let us skedoodle, as
I'm,
the locals say, right?
They do say that.
All right,
So
so,
we'll
you
just
guys
back
are
up.
gonna...
let's head due west. Let's find the actual coast. Perhaps it won't take that long.
Yeah, I mean, if we just go straight west from here, we shouldn't be too far.
So you're not gonna stick to the path that you were on?
Well, we heard the bells.
Well, no. I think staying on the path might be a good idea because we did take the path. We did take a game path on our way up from the place where we got off the boat. So.
All right. Wherever you think we should go, guide.
Yeah, man, that's all you.
Let's get going.
Yes.
I follow.
So you're gonna keep following the
game path for
game path
at
south?
least an hour. Yeah, south, and see if there's any that meander west. I'll take the westward branches.
All right. Why don't you make me a survival check this morning, Kenny?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, have you done so yet?
He just did, yeah.
Yes.
21.
21.
Fucking nailed it.
21. I'd also like Falyuan
Whoa.
to elect somebody next.
Walden.
Well,
What,
you
man?
roll me a d20.
Just roll any old d20.
Any one you want.
Okay, this is my lucky one. 13.
All right, lucky number
Lucky
13.
13.
Yeah.
So, Kenny begins to lead you guys through the woods. It is cold. There's a lot of big trees around. You're finding yourself now starting to pass some of those old, gnarled-looking trees that are here in the dying wood that look like they're like twisted and rotting and stuff like that. And then there's these other really large towering pines and stuff that you guys begin to walk under following this game trail. As you continue to walk for another hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, the smell of the smoke begins to dissipate. And Kenny, you begin to follow some of these game trails that there are branches that lead off to the west. And you eventually bring yourself to the coastline. And you can see that you're now maybe about a couple miles at most north. You know, it's maybe midday. You're a couple miles north of the small inlet that you guys actually landed in when you first came here. And the coast that you're standing on is extremely rocky. It's like, and if you remember, you landed on like a small sandy beach in the cove, if you guys remember correctly.
Yes.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
And so this area is very rocky and stuff, and it wouldn't be safe necessarily for a ship to anchor nearby. And you can see that out to sea, because it is sort of that cold, crisp kind of day. It's not very cloudy or anything like that. You can see that offshore, there are actually several boats on the horizon. So there's one boat that's several miles away from you to your south, and looks like it's anchored offshore of that little inlet. And you can kind of see that sandy inlet from where you are in the distance. You can't really make out anything. It's got like a lot of trees and sand and stuff like that, so you can't really make out any features from the distance, but you recognize it as the place that you were before. And then you also see two ships that are far to the north. And they look small on the horizon. And you can see that there's definitely two other larger ships that are farther away.
I would like to take out my spyglass and see what I can see.
All right, go ahead and make a perception check as you pull out the spyglass and prop yourself up on the near.
12.
Well, I think with your spyglass,
Spyglass,
don't
you
you
get
make
advantage. Even
6.
worse.
12.
even better? So Fal, you can see that these ships are big. At least these two that you can see at a distance. Looks like they probably have at least 3 masts. So they're pretty large ships. Other than that, you can't really make out too much detail. Other than the fact that it looks like they're moving southward.
Viz will jump up on the rock and see if he can see any insignias on the sails to tell if they're the elven ships or not. With his
All right.
spyglass.
I like this kind of going in order where it's like Fal hops up on the rock and pulls out his spyglass, and then Viz hops up next to him and pulls out his spyglass and looks in the same direction.
Now it is my turn with an 18.
All right. So Viz, it does look like these are probably those elven galleons that you guys saw before. And it does look like they're headed southward. You think that you can see those same banners flying on these flags, and you can see their colors being flown as well, and their sails of that same color. Do we have one more who is going to jump up on the rock?
Kenny motions to Walden for him to jump up on the rock with his spyglass
hell.
as he packs his pipe and jumps up on the rock, sits Indian style and lights his pipe.
His perception?
Yes. With
Yes.
advantage.
With advantage? 17.
You
All
see
right.
much the
So
same.
similarly, Walden, you seem very similar to what Viz sees, which is that these ships are definitely on the horizon, and their sails are billowing quite a bit as they're moving at a pretty quick clip to the south.
I wonder if they've summoned wind to help them speed their journey.
Oh, exactly, Fal.
Wouldn't you to get away from a dragon rider and a demon?
Yes.
So, if anyone wants to look, Val has posted a wonderful
I've put
little
it up
link.
on the stream.
Thank you. This is exactly, almost in the opposite vein because you guys are on shore, but it's exactly what we're talking about.
Yes, I do have a spyglass.
So, Kenny, are you going to put out your pipe and join the fray, or are you just going to?
No, I'm not. I'm not pulling out my. I'm not pulling out my spyglass. I'm gonna tap my pipe out after I'm done smoking it and they're done looking through their spyglasses and say, well, we should get to the cove as soon as possible because our ship is gonna not want to be anywhere near those ships when those ships get to where we are. So let's make haste towards the sandy beaches.
Agreed, man.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys begin to follow Kenny again back into the woods, making haste now for the small cove in which you guys came in. And so the trail is pretty easy to follow, as it seems like a lot of game have been passing in the same direction that you are.
Southbound to get the fuck out of here.
To get the fuck out of Dodge. So the trail is pretty beaten down, and you find it all actually very easy to travel. And you guys begin to make your way, sort of picking your way through the forest until you begin to get yourselves to the coast a little bit. And you feel like you're nearing that area. And as you emerge from the tree line here, you find that you can see the cove out in front of you, the rocky shore that kind of goes into this sandy beach. And if you remember, there was some bushes and stuff that you guys hid your longboats under.
It's
Classic move.
classic.
And so you can see those across the beach. At the other end, you can see like the little bits of wood and stuff poking out of these bushes. They're sort of like behind this big rock that's in the center of the beach. And in between you and where all these boats are
Is some obstacle.
is some obstacle.
Uh,
Actually, several obstacles,
Oh.
or what seems to be a strange scene. Again, it looks like there's a bunch of orcs around. And they're sort of surrounding the outskirts of this beach, just on the edge of where like the sand kind of meets the snowy grass and stuff. One of them is up on this big rock, and he's looking down onto the center of the beach, where there is about a dozen goblins, and they seem to be standing around 5 sheep. And the goblins look like they're scared shitless. They've got their little spears up, and they're pointing them at all the
Is it our
orcs, and their
boys?
eyes are darting back and
no.
forth.
It's our
And
boys.
they've got these 5 sheep, sort of like huddled around, pressed
shit.
up against the shoreline, and the
Oh.
waves are sort of like lapping at their feet a little bit. And you can hear this orc standing
you-
up on the rock, and you don't speak Orcish, but you can tell that what he's saying is probably mocking in some tone. Comes off across the lines of,
I don't like that
let's kill these orcs.
And
I just say that out loud to everyone, right? As we see this scene, I'm like, all right, everybody kill orcs.
What? Why? Why are we defending goblins?
Those are our sheep.
Those are our what? We don't own.
Yeah,
How
man.
can you tell they are from Jasper?
Oh, those are the goblins you helped earlier, way back.
I will pull out my spyglass and take a look.
all right, make me a perception check
Well,
from a distance.
with advantage.
Spying these
But-
sheep.
By the by, we need this beach anyway, so killing these orcs isn't.
I mean, that's fair. 12.
12.
12.
12. Falyuan, they're definitely sheep. You,
Nice.
I would say you're not really sure how to tell Jasper's sheep apart from other sheep.
This is very true.
Jasper's sheep. So you're like, could be, could also not be. But definitely, most definitely sheep. So, whatever you want to do with that.
I look at Kenny and I say, I don't remember what frickin' Frack looked like.
Well, we do need to kill these orcs, and the goblins are a
We-
good distraction. Maybe we wait
We need
until
to
they
beach.
start fighting each other, and then we can flank the orcs from behind.
Nah,
That sounds like a plan, man.
I mean, why should we get in between them? That's dangerous.
How many orcs are there?
From the distance you count, maybe about a dozen.
Yeah, there's a lot of orcs. I'd rather have the jump on them than fucking screaming bloody murder on a beach.
well, why don't we get the jump on them while they're distracted with the goblins right
Well,
now?
we can start circling around, but I don't trust myself to be sneaky.
Alright, I'm gonna take out my pistol and start sneaking closer.
Viz will stay low on the rocks, waiting, preparing a spell to fire at the first orc that attacks a goblin.
I will follow Walden with my bow.
And I'm gonna walk straight up the line,
Oh my god.
like the most direct route to the dude standing on the rock.
Okay.
And
Now- So
Oh,
Kenny,
I will be stealthy until I get to where I know my team is in a place, but I'm going to call this dude out before he, hurts any of these goblins.
Jesus Christ.
all right. So hold on one sec. Billy Bob is going to accompany Viz for the time being.
Alright.
And also crouch along with the rocks and stuff. Kenny, as you begin to stroll up, you see Falyuan and Walden sort of go off to the left around this group of trees that seems like it's going to sort of loop them around to the other side of these guys. And Viz and Billy Bob sort of disappear off to your right, around this other tree off to where like the rocks and stuff like that are that overlook the beach. And you can hear some of the orcs laughing and stuff as you're moving up. And can you make me a perception check as you walk sort of into view now of the entire scene that's happening out in front of you? All right, a 16. All right, so you see this orc who looks like he's clad in some kind of shiny metal armor, like a breastplate or something like that. And otherwise, it's sort of patched together with a bunch of different things. He has a big battle axe, big great axe sort of strapped to his back. And he's the one who's been, shouting, and you can see he's still like talking to a bunch of his orcs and like gesturing at these goblins down below. And now you can see standing next to him, he was sort of blocked before from the distance that you guys were at, is a human. And he's standing right next to this orc, and sort of standing there just like looking down at the goblins, and doesn't seem to be really, he doesn't seem to care what the hell is going on. He's got a small backpack on, a bunch of cold weather gear and stuff. And he's got this large oaken staff that he seems to hold on to. And you can see him just sort of standing there, watching the orcs. And he says something to that main orc, who laughs, and then says something to the orc standing just below the rock next to him. And he walks forward and kicks the first goblin he sees in the face, which sends that goblin just scattering into the sand, into two other goblins behind him. And at that, one of the goblins behind him screams out something in his native tongue, and hurls his little javelin-type spear at this orc.
As soon as the spear hits him, Viz releases that spell that he has been holding and hits the orc with Jolt.
Oh yeah, custom maps by Tom.
Boom, custom maps.
Check it out for all you viewers
By
out there.
your GM.
Not only is he a GM extraordinaire, he's also an artist, and he has a pretty nice voice to boot.
Not too bad.
So I get a nat 20, right, Tom?
So yeah, you just automatically win.
Actually, I'm gonna. Nah, should I use that net? No, I'm gonna wait.
You can use whatever you want.
I can use it after the roll. So actually, can
Do
I?
whatever you want to.
Is that the feature? Record. You can replace. Yeah, replace. Okay. You must choose to do so before the roll, and you can replace a roll only once per turn.
So you guys can sort of zoom out and see, the whole landscape here.
Is
There's
this
a little
about
bit
where we're at for real?
Oh yeah, I put you guys in positions as to where you are. So Viz, I'm not sure how much range whatever spell you needed was.
120.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're sort of on these rocks. You're hidden by some of these larger rocks and stuff like that. So I imagine
that human?
these.
Right
that
next
human
to
is
you.
right next to the orc there. So Viz, I imagine you wouldn't be able to see these guys so well. They're kind of blocked by some of that rocks and foliage and stuff. But you can definitely see this guy and a bunch of these guys down here, no problem. And you have very good view of all of the goblins.
So, can I see the guy that did the kicking?
Oh yeah, that's this guy right here.
Yeah.
You can see him.
So I will.
I don't think you can see the other three though.
That's fine. I want the one who got hit with the javelin. I want it to look like he also.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let's see if he actually got hit by that javelin.
Oh yes.
You did say the little.
Oh yeah, it hits him.
Oh,
and,
nice.
He basically like looks down at it surprised, and then pulls the javelin out. Slammed. And what spell is this?
That is Jolt. It's that one where I rewrote Firebolt, so I just a shoot of Jolt.
Oh, yeah.
So Viz quickly incantates into his fist, and then claps his hands together, and a bolt of lightning shoots from the tip of his finger, a small one, just like a pew, and it strikes the orc where the javelin hit him, for 9 damage.
Boom now. 5 damage?
9.
9 damage, even better. All right, so he, surprised by the shock of electricity and the javelin, he definitely stumbles back, looking at his now charred and bleeding chest, and lets out this hideous scream, while all the rest of the orcs, look around and start to just battle begins to rage. So go ahead and everybody roll me initiative.
I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick.
All right. Viz has shat himself.
I am out of fear. No.
So yeah, everyone give me initiative. Let me get the turn order set up here on the side.
Why you do that, Tom? Can I also get control over my character?
What, you don't have control of your character?
Not yet. I think it's because we
What's up
changed
with that?
icons.
I thought I set it so that... Hold on, let me double check on your actual token. It says in journals can be edited and controlled by all players. Hold on. If I drag this other one onto here, can you control that one?
Nope.
What is up with that? Can anybody else control their character?
Not
I can.
anymore. I used to be able to, but oh wait, no. Now I can because I had. Yeah,
I can
Yeah, I
move.
can control mine.
Yeah, I can move Kenny and Walden.
Yeah,
Hey,
you should
don't
be
let
able to
them
move
know.
everybody.
Yeah, I
Now
can't
you
move.
can move. Now you can move yourself.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. So I think we are going to. Oh man! All right, I gotta delete all our old friends from the turn order. And will somebody roll me initiative for Billy Bob, if you don't mind?
Yeah, what's he
We
got?
go at a +1.
It's going at a 3.
Oh no.
All right. Everyone should be able to edit, I think, your own scores in the
No. Also cannot
turn order.
control my character.
What is? Oh, it's probably because I changed both of your icons this week. I'll probably have to. And someone should be able to edit Billy Bob now, because everybody can do that.
It's good that he's going last. You know, pick up the pieces of our scattered strategies.
Okay.
God damn it. Keeps doing that thing where whenever someone else updates, it cancels my about to update.
Oh, it's because I'm probably adding. I'm also adding a whole bunch of works and stuff like that to the turn order. All right, I'm also going to ask somebody to roll. Can someone roll me 14d20? Just straight up 14d20.
Foul, you rolled so terribly for Billy Bob.
Oh,
And
jeez.
of course you roll in that 20 and 19.
Okay. So
But a lot of
just gonna go ahead
threes. Well, 1 3. Couple fours.
I'd rather have them go in initiative rather than attack.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of those rolls are going to put us ahead of them anyway.
All right, so I'm just editing them in the turn order. You guys can feel free to talk amongst yourselves if you.
Well, none of us are.
feel like it.
Well, Fal and Walden can talk to each other. The rest of us are scattered across the battleground.
Just got to get all these turns.
You can talk to Billy Bob.
Yes, can you play Billy Bob, Tom, while you also put in all of these? Good God.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Can someone roll me a d20 plus 2?
Alright, I'll do it this time. 18. God damn it.
Okay, and then someone roll me a d20 plus 1.
Not me.
Joe.
Joe. Alright.
I'll get it.
No, Joe
Perfect.
just rolled it. For 15.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, dude, come on, man.
I got no patience.
I'm
No
doing.
patience.
not paying attention.
I'm
No
looking
excuses.
at my weaponry.
You're
Thank
the
you.
one
I
who messed
hear
up
are
here, Fal.
Me?
No, Fal.
Who's saying that?
I said Fal.
Oh.
Well, how's that sound like either of your names, Joe/Kenny?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, so we're gonna sort them descending. Make sure we've got everybody's name in here.
Joe, what's your dex mod?
+2.
Okay.
Oh, turn order moved.
Alrighty. So we're gonna start at the top, and the top is Walden.
As it should be.
Yeah, it's Walden.
All right.
Alright.
Walden, you're up first. You are, as you can see on the north side of the map, you hear this, like sizzle, and scream, and then you hear all hell start to break loose.
It's pandemonium.
Alright.
There's pandas everywhere.
Hey, can you tell me, is that a clear shot?
Yeah, that would be a clear shot from that square that you're pointing at.
Okay.
You gonna move up there?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All stealthy like.
And I will shoot with my...
So you break out into the open, into the snow, sort of running out in between these trees into like some open area, and you're using your pistol.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you line up the shot.
And it is +7 now, because it just gained a level.
Hot digging it out.
25.
Hot digging it out.
25 is gonna pierce this dude's breastplate from the back.
And two.
Go ahead and deal damage.
Okay. Let's roll. 2d8 plus 4.
Nice.
17.
Wow. All right.
And a sneak attack
And a
damage.
sneak attack damage.
Yeah. It is definitely sneak attack damage.
Oh, what a sneak attack
Oh
roll.
man.
Oof.
That is a total of what?
31.
31.
31.
He's dead.
Wow, that is putting this guy in his place. He is not quite
Please.
dead.
Like a little dead.
Oh shit.
He's bleeding like crazy. And he turns around. Basically, you
From the gaping
you shot
exit
him
into
and
his
you
chest.
blew blew a hole through his shoulder essentially. So his left arm is like entirely hanging limp, and he like swings around and looks at you, like right over his shoulder, and you can see like your eyes lock all of a sudden.
And I pissed my pants.
You immediately start hearing the Vulcan
Anything
battle
else you'd like
theme.
to do?
Oh shit, man, help! Help! I shot a
welcome-
gun.
Walden, what are you doing?
Welcome to Viz's world.
Anything else, Walden?
Oh, I have an extra turn. So I have a bonus action.
You can use your bonus action.
So I
You
guess
can use it to dash.
I could dash.
You could dash.
So I'll dash right here.
How dashing of you.
Bye 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 bye. Cool. That's my turn.
Okay.
These trees are pretty tall, Tom.
Those trees are decent. Those are more like your average sized trees. These other ones are those really huge, like pines.
Okay.
So you can go through any like these larger ones. You can go straight through them because it's just low cover. They're just difficult terrain.
So do I have visibility if I like duck down and take a shot?
Yeah, but like I said, since it's like it's like partial cover almost.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see. Next up is Chris with a C, which happens to be the guy that you just blew his shoulder off almost.
Oh boy.
So let's see. There's two of you who can see this. Kenny and Viz. You guys witnessed this guy. You can see his left arm is hanging totally limp. With his right arm, he reaches over his back and pulls out this great axe and throws it up into the air and catches it mid-half with his right hand again, and then hops off the back of this rock, and you can't see.
Oh no. Walden, watch out. Viz thinks out loud.
Oh hell.
And he is going to dash at Walden. So Walden, basically what you see is this guy hop off this rock into view, now holding his great axe in one hand, and just starts booking it towards you. And
Ow.
he doesn't get to you in enough time to be able to actually like pull out to strike the great axe at you, but gets right up in your grill.
Help me! Help me!
All right, it is Skipper's turn.
Skipper.
Skipper doesn't know what the fuck's going on, and he walks up to this first goblin here, and he just stabs his javelin straight into him.
Oh, Jesus.
I like that he's like doing that confused and casually like, oh well, while I'm here. Eh.
Boom! Just like, let's
Dead goblin.
see. Dead goblin. Oh yeah, he just tosses that goblin straight to the side.
These goblins do not stand much of a chance, do they?
And next to him, Fink, his buddy, laughs, walks up, gives him a casual high five, and then walks up to the next set of goblins, laughing, and just kicks this one straight in the chest. Knocking him into his buddies behind, and knocking over this sheep.
No,
not the shame.
man.
We
So
looked
he's gonna
after the
take
sheep.
3 damage from that, which isn't gonna kill him, but is gonna hurt that goblin quite a bit. So he is
Collapse
now.
low.
Yeah,
Let me put
crushed
him
rib.
prone.
That goblin will now be known as Wheezy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. So that was Fink. It is our buddy on the rock's turn. So Viz, you and Kenny can both see this guy. Let's see.
I really wish I had fireball right now, man. Oofed.
Yeah, get some roast mutton.
No. Well. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
So Viz.
Oh.
Oh. Let's see. Okay. Does a 14 hit your AC?
It does not.
All right. So a firebolt comes whizzing out in your direction,
Hmm.
and smashes into the rocks next to you, sort of igniting this. Well, not igniting, sort of like melting all the snow and stuff like that on this bush that's right next to you.
Ooh.
And there's like a small like fire that breaks out, and then it sort of like puts itself out.
Viz yells out, "Wizard
like-
fight!"
Yeah, over the waves, you can hear like 2 play at that game.
Wow, he had to like really yell that.
Either that or it was
like, or he put it into his spell.
Yeah, put it
and
into the
was
spell,
burning
yeah.
off.
The smoke
Yeah.
whispers it.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
All right, it is Kipper's turn. Kipper is also excited to get into the fray, and runs up to the first goblin he sees, and just like smashes into this thing with his maul. Well, we'll see if he smashes into this thing with his maul. He doesn't. The goblin sidesteps,
Yes.
and his
Hell
maul
yeah.
just drives straight into the sand, sending sand flying
Yay,
everywhere.
goblin.
Fuck you, Works.
He's even more pissed at that. He's like, "Ugh." Viz, it is your turn on the rocks.
It is my turn on the rocks. Thomas, is it possible for me to get? It's difficult terrain, I assume. The Rockies.
Yeah, it's difficult terrain to be on the rocks.
It's on the rocks. Well, let's see what I can. So it's like 2 per square, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that's it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna do 4, 5.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna shoot a fucking lightning bolt.
Boom, lightning bolt.
I'm gonna shoot it to there. That's gonna be the path.
So is the lightning bolt a? So here's the one thing I'll tell you before you release your spell or anything like that. So he is standing above these other orcs. So if lightning bolt is one of those things
yeah,
that
it's a
it's
5
like,
square, so it wouldn't hit.
yeah, so it would hit. So you could either fire it at the orcs or you could fire it at him. It's just one of those things that he's standing, like 6 feet off the ground almost on this big rock, kind of like you are. So you could either shoot down at all the orcs, or you could shoot across at this guy.
Well, actually, if that's the case, I probably wouldn't have done that move then.
Yeah.
In which case, I'm gonna go around. 1, 2. I'm just gonna double move. So 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 60. 60 gets me next.
Remember,
to
the trees are difficult terrain.
Oh, let's see. 20, 40, 50. Would that work? The edge of the tree?
Let's just move your character.
Alright.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
But yeah, one over.
There you go. Either one of those work.
And then I'm gonna.
So yeah, you run up past Kenny.
What the hell? What the hell
and
are
that's
you
your
doing?
dash, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna end there. Yeah, and kind of just hide under, behind the rock at the end of my turn.
All right. Thal, it is your turn. You see Walden nearby, now with a big orc up in his face. This orc seems to be well armored, but his left arm seems to be pretty useless.
I shot him and now he's mad. Help!
I will move up to here and loose my first arrow, the one that I had drawn, into this orc.
Oh, into the orc that's right next to you?
Yeah.
Nice.
12.
12 is going to miss.
All right.
That's going to just, like, basically, it'll bounce right off of his breastplate.
All right, then I will shoot another arrow with my second attack. 22.
22 is definitely going to hit.
He can enjoy
That'll pierce
11 damage.
That'll kill him.
Look at you, Legolas.
So basically, it's one of those things that, the first shot just bounces straight off of his breastplate. The second shot, you line up for that spot, that hole that your friend Walden had blasted into his armor, and you just put another arrow right in the same spot, and it sinks deep into this guy, and probably breaks off somewhere inside of him or something like that. And it's one of those things that he's run up and he's got that axe raised above his head. The first shot goes off and he kind of laughs at you and takes the second one and just sort of staggers back for a sec and drops that great axe and just like falls backwards into the snow.
Sweet.
Just like wide eyes,
Let him
kind of like gaped open.
Get back,
One
Walden.
second.
Thanks, man. I could have taken care of it though.
I am sure.
He said post screaming help.
So
Yeah, no.
Anything
I
else
was
for
just
you?
testing.
Was that song?
anything else for you?
Yeah, I'm going to just draw another arrow and then continue my movement. So 15, 20, 25, 30. That would be my turn. Next.
Okay.
I believe that's me. I'm going to move, and while I'm moving, I'm going to draw my repeater. 5, 10, 15, 20. And I'm going to shoot. No, he's dead.
No, he's not. The goblin under him is dead.
Yeah.
The guy who's in the front with my repeater. D20 plus, what's my range attack? Plus 5.
That's pretty good.
12?
Mhm.
I don't know what he's wearing.
Probably not. 12 didn't hit with Fal's arrow.
That was the main guy with the breastplate, though.
I think they all do. Oh no, that was just like the main guy. Yeah.
Is Tommy around?
I think he's doing stuff. Or he's muted and doesn't know it.
I'm sorry, gents. I didn't realize I thought I was unmuted. I was chatting with you for a second, and you were not there to hear me. It was wonderful. Missed it all. Good night
All right,
night,
that's
everybody.
it.
That's it.
Tip your
All right.
waiter, try to
Wrap
be
it
all.
up.
Yeah.
Done for good. No, just joking.
Oh.
Okay, so
12.
Kenny, you you fire your repeater into the area, and nobody gets hit.
Fuck.
Kind of
Um,
impressive, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, hell.
Kind of good and bad. Move 20. I've got 5 more feet of movement.
Or 5 more feet
Yeah.
of turning into a bear.
Yeah, no, not this turn. I am gonna like yell out how they're all stupid, smelly orcs, and they should, pick on somebody their own size.
Witty repartee, Kensington.
All right, anything else, Kenny?
I'm gonna use the insults that the other orcs taught us
Ah.
to get their attention.
Alrighty. That's a good recall. I like that.
Nice. For the
and,
audience, our party once traveled with a group of very nice orcs who taught us all about their ways.
Yeah, they were a pretty good group. But
Also, Joe, back your mic from your mouth a little bit.
also one of those guys
Hey.
died
Hey, definitely got killed by his boss.
It's
yes.
unfortunate, yeah.
on accident.
On
But
accident
so you begin to shout these curses at these guys. And anything else, Kenny? Or that's
I've got 5 more feet of movement, so I guess I'm gonna, as I'm insulting them, I'm going to back.
Can that
into
be
the
like
tree.
a pseudo intimidation check of like them hearing an orcish insult?
I'm not gonna have him make a check or anything like
Well,
that. I think
that's
it
my
sort of
turn.
stands on its own, right?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
thanks.
So the goblins.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell them their leader's dead.
in common because you don't speak word.
Yeah, no, I don't.
All right.
Don't
so
gnomes
You're
get
like, your leader's dead, and they're like,
Oh yeah, I get plenty of bonuses fighting these dudes and that shit. But yeah,
So it is now the goblins' turn. And it's going to be sort of a mix of things. A few of them are going to start to sort of backpedal a little bit with the sheep, and start to move more towards the coast, and try to maintain, like the little bit of surrounding that they have. And a few of them are also then going to lash out at the orcs that are nearby. So
Oh, you poor bastards.
this one here is gonna get up out of the sand, as his buddy sort of like helps him up, and then like thrusts forward with his own javelin at the guy who kicked his buddy down. He's gonna hit basically right in the gut of this orc. He's gonna deal 7 damage to this guy.
Nice.
That's not bad.
Nice.
Unfortunately, it's not nearly enough to kill this orc, and he's going to be pretty upset about the whole thing.
Oh well.
that is the
our
most
other
PC
friend-
way of saying he's gonna kill a goblin I've ever heard.
Our other goblin nearby is going to, seeing his friend succeed, is going to sort of gain the courage to do the same, and lash out with his javelin, and it is batted aside by this orc, and sort of like, swatted off to the ground. 2 other goblins on the southern end of the beach are going to take to trying to fight the orcs that are in front of them as well.
Oh, Jesus.
Both of them
Whoa!
are going to hit. One
Oh,
is
shit.
going to crit. Let's
Yeah.
see how well
Goblin
he
champion.
does. He is going to see. He's going to roll on the crit table.
Yes.
Oh my
Kill
god.
him, Goblin. Fucking kill him.
Goblin is having a good night.
He's like,
All right, here's the-
It's
got the
funny
crit
that
table.
Tommy can have a good time with himself with the NPCs, but
Oh, I
we're
know.
also having a good time with it, which is amazing because, it's goblins fighting orcs and it shouldn't even be a fucking contest. And yet these goblins are amazing.
But-
Oh, these
Brock,
goblins are
but
amazing.
Tommy can roll like a fucking god with anything.
I would also like someone to roll me a d20.
Valuing.
Valuing.
All right, pretty
14.
14. All right. 14 comes up at. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, Falyu, and roll me a d4.
good. Oh, extra 4 damage.
2.
Okay, 2.
Or
So, and then I'm gonna roll some damage here. Okay, so this orc down below is gonna get stabbed in the thigh by the goblin in front of him, and he's gonna take 4 damage. And sort of, seeing that his goblin brethren is also stepping up into the fray. This goblin on this side, he sort of like lunges forward and does this little like spin move where he spins around and like slashes with his with this little javelin that he has, and he's able to actually take this orc's foot off at the ankle.
oh,
And he removes his right foot and drops this orc to the ground. The orc is now not entirely immobilized, but is definitely slowed and is knocked down, and has also taken a total of 8 damage from this hideous wound that is going to continue to bleed for a little while.
Yeah.
That is quite the goblin attack. It is now Pablo's
it is
turn,
now time
who
for
is
all
one
of
of
those
our
goblins to die.
orcs down here, who sees his orc friends getting attacked by goblins and just steps straight up to this goblin in front of him, and swings with his great axe and hits
Oh god.
Of course he does.
and kills him immediately. Just takes that goblin's head straight off. And there's a scream from all the other goblins. It's like, ah! It's one of those things. They saw the end when they saw the orcs. Now they're really seeing the end. At that, Pablo laughs, and Mark from across the beach walks down to these other goblins who are hanging out here, and just starts to get into the fray.
Oh?
If my taunting didn't have any effect.
Well, not on that guy. In fact, maybe on other people. 12 is gonna miss our goblin
Yeah.
as he sort of bashes back with his shield, and keeps that orc at bay.
Hold the line! Hey now, don't mention to me. Stop that foul.
I'm just gauging distance. Who I should fire first?
All right, so it is now. We've got 3 orcs down here who are gonna go. These 2 guys are gonna march in on the goblin who hamstringed their buddy, and they're both gonna swing in at the same time.
No!
Oh, jeez.
One of them's gonna miss into the sand as the goblin sort of like jumps to the right. And when he jumps to the right, he jumps right into this other orc's great axe.
No, Gizark! Gizark, no!
Oh,
Gizark's
max
super
damage.
dead.
Jesus Christ.
Gizark is
It's
cut in
cut.
half.
In half at the torso.
He's got a real bad case of cut in half going on.
He's got that Darth Maul syndrome going on.
Nottingham up here, sensing that maybe the goblin battle really isn't the real battle, runs around the back of this tree to see his captain laying basically down in the snow, and with a huge bloodstain around him, and sees this, weird cloaked up looking half elf, who is definitely the culprit. And hoisting his javelin, moves up a few feet and then chucks it at Falyu. Falyu, will a 17 hit you?
No, not
All
at
right.
all.
So Faoyuan, with a 17, I imagine, it makes contact, but you bat it away. Do you have a shield at the moment? Not out?
Not out right now.
All right, so you just, like, sidestep it. Let's see. It is not Pablo. It is Paolo's turn. All right. Paolo hears the taunting, and instead takes off into the trees. Seeing this little gnome crouched under the tree, he rushes in, and he decides to go for a different tactic. He doesn't see your friends around the corner or anything like that, so he goes in for the tackle.
Smart guy.
So he's gonna try to grapple you.
That's a fart smeller right there.
And he smells farts.
What is it? Is it an opposed check or is it a?
Let me
an attack?
look up.
You
pretty
get
sure
to
you're a gnome and
decide
he's an orc, so
acrobatics
you just-
or athletics, and you roll opposing. I think. I believe.
Hold on. Grapple. When you want to grab a creature or wrestle with it, you can use the attack action to make a special melee attack, a grapple. If you're able to make multiple attacks, this replaces one of them. Target must be no more than one size larger than you within your reach, at least one free hand. To try to seize the target, make a grapple check instead of an attack roll. A strength, athletics contested by the target's strength or dexterity. The target chooses which is athletics or acrobatics. The target chooses the ability to use, so you get to choose. You succeed automatically if the target's incapacitated. You succeed if the target, if you succeed, the target gets the grappled condition.
Okay.
And then there's things for escaping a grapple and other things like that. So this is using his attack. He is going to make an opposed strength check to your
And I'm going to use
acrobatics or
acrobatics.
athletics. Your call.
Acrobatics.
Okay. Let me see.
Which I will roll, I assume.
Yeah,
Would
you
like
can
to roll
roll, and
first
I'm
or
gonna.
second?
Hold on, I'm just looking up his athletics check. Okay. I'll roll first for you. That way it'll give you a number to beat.
Oh,
7.
thank goodness.
5.
No.
All right. So he tackles Kenny and pins him straight, and basically like grabs a hold of him. And you can feel like the hot stink of his breath, and he's starting to mumble things. Those same kind of swears that you heard.
We're
mixed with all sorts of
standing, right? Or are we?
Yeah, you were standing before, so he hasn't brought you to the ground yet or anything like that. I think one of those moves he can do is like pin and other things like that. But when he has you grabbed, he can also like punch you in the face and do other things.
Oh, he could try. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be really
So yeah,
interesting.
he has you grabbed. And let's see, that was Paolo. All right. We got Harrison down here.
Harrison.
Also is gonna move forward and take up against these goblins.
God damn
and
it!
just
Leave the goblins
tear
alone.
right into one.
Oh, it's
Ooh.
dead.
He's
It's a
only got a
dead goblin.
javelin, but that javelin's gonna do good work and destroy that goblin. The goblin's numbers are dwindling fast.
Yes, they are.
All right. It is Peter's turn. Peter's been sort of, witnessing the fray down here, and he is gonna step up over this dead goblin and go to stab the next one that's standing next in the ranks.
Oh. Jesus.
Oh, jeez. Oh. He cuts this dude's leg straight off. The goblin just drops to the sand and, screaming in pain, just begins to bleed out over the course of the next few seconds.
Jesus.
It is a bloody mess as these orcs just tear into these little goblins. Seeing that this is fairly taken care of, let's see. Oh yeah, Henry. Henry's going to take off in the opposite direction. Nice. in 30 feet, he's gonna run right up to Fal Yuan, and he's gonna try to smash at you with his with the great club that he has. Does a
Miss.
16 hit you, Fal Yuan? All right, so you sidestep again as this this huge club is swung at you and sort of just like crashes into the snow next to you. It is Billy Bob's turn. Billy Bob's gonna follow.
Finally, Billy Bob.
Billy Bob's like, "What are you guys doing? What the fuck's
I
going on?"
point at Kenny being grappled by the orc, and then I point at all the dead, bloody elves or goblins on the beach.
Billy Bob draws. Sorry, I just wrecked everything in the house. I got really excited. Billy Bob draws Donder, and sort of gets that little glint in his eye.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've
And
seen
for
Billy Bob
Banner.
get that glint.
Walden, it is your turn.
Oh, he's just gonna draw his sword.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
right,
he
Billy.
moved. He moved a lot, and then
Oh, he did?
he can't
My
really
bad.
do any more than that. He's like, "I only get one attack. What do you want from me?"
Fucking Billy Bob.
Hey,
Maybe a
So
sacred
he
flame,
could
Billy
have
Bob.
double moved. He could
He
make
did
it
double
to me
move.
and draw. Oh, he did.
yeah, he was all the way
Oh.
over here.
Play me.
Ooh, what are you doing? Why don't you describe for us a little bit?
I'm just gonna run. I hop over this dude's little corpse, or gigantic corpse, and I hit this side with a roll, land in the square, gun drawn, and I get a 9.
Your 6-shooter shot goes wide.
It's like,
Blow.
Pachoo!
You like a bird falls out of the tree nearby. Kenny's like, there weren't even that many around.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, Terry?
No.
I'll
All right, your shot goes wide.
just sidestep like this.
Alrighty. Anything else, my friend Walden?
No, I'm good.
Chris with a C. You
He's
hear
dead.
some gurgles behind you, Walden.
I'll just throw another bullet in him.
Alright, it is Skipper's turn. Skipper hears the shit going on, and he's like, fuck this noise. He doubles back. He's got a javelin, and he just runs up to Fal Yuan and is like, well, the more of us around, the better. And so, comes in with the crit value, and that, I think, is going to hit you.
Definitely.
Fal Yuan, we're rolling on the crit table, bud. Do you want me to decide the fates, or do you want one of your comrades to decide the fates?
I don't want that evil on me. I refuse if you volunteer me.
I would like Joe to decide the fates.
Joe.
Very
all right.
good. I will
Joe.
roll whatever you'd like me to,
Roll
my
me,
friend.
A D20 to start.
D20 to start. 14.
14.
Hey, that's losing a leg or a foot. That's what happened to the
pen-
orc.
Maybe.
And why don't you roll me a D4, Kenny?
Oh, Fal. It's always you, isn't it? Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
4. So, Fal, right at where your left thigh meets your, your left knee, this javelin goes straight through your leg.
A little Ned Stark there.
And
Wrong Marvel character, Fal.
you're gonna take 10 damage from that straight off the bat. And now his javelin is it's like a through and through. So the spear edge, like the blade edge, is sticking out the back of your kneecap. And the haft, which is about 3 feet long or so, is sticking out the front. Um,
You look
and
like Ace
he
Ventura.
he loses his grip, so this thing is just lodged in your
Damn it,
leg.
Kenny.
And you are going to be moving at half speed for the rest of the encounter.
That's fair.
And there's a chance that you're going to lose the lower portion of your leg. But we'll get to that later.
We'll try to make that not happen.
We'll see if we're able to fix that situation before
Billy
it gets
Bob?
much worse.
Between me and Billy Bob, we've got a lot of healing between us. Let's just kill all these orcs to.
But at the moment, you do have this spear basically through your entire kneecap. And it's one of those things, you're going to push through the pain, but you can tell this is going to leave some permanent scars.
I am used to scars by now.
I'm gonna bring this up on stream. Is this good to bring up on stream?
Is this what I think it is? Oh no.
Kenny, you are up, good sir.
Oh man. Okay.
Straight through the knee.
Hey. Oh man. Hey buddy, have you ever wrestled? Oh wait, do you speak common?
There's no.
Have you ever
common.
wrestled a dire wolf? I turned into a dire wolf.
Yeah.
Thad was an adventure, and then
right.
he took a harpoon to the knee.
So some wild shape.
Yep. I'm gonna cast wild shape and turn into a dire wolf.
You can use your action
Since
to
we-
magically assume the shape of a beast. Blah blah blah.
Actually,
Alright.
I can do it as a
So-
bonus action, but I'm not gonna.
So you are now grappled with him as a dire wolf.
Sweet.
Um,
I'm gonna bite him.
Aren't you large size now
Doesn't-
as a direwolf?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
How does that affect the grapple?
It doesn't. You're within the
His size category.
Yeah, his size.
I like to
category.
imagine he's like giving you like a noogie headlock, and then your head just gets bigger, and he's like, "Wait."
Well, then I turn into a giant wolf.
Right.
I'm gonna bite him in the leg. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of you can just try to bite at him. So let's see.
I've got the direwolf stats in the back of the book.
No, I was
Oh,
just looking at if there's anything that you get for grappling or not grappling.
12.
All right, so 12 is gonna miss this guy. All right, Kenny. Anything else? You start to snap at him.
No, I'm a big fucking wolf now. I'd like to see what he can do.
All
This will
right.
be fun.
Kenneth is gone. It is now our goblin's turn. Our goblin ranks have thinned.
Wait, no.
What? Oh no, it's not our goblin's turn. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wait. How did Kenny go? It needed to be my turn and then Fal's turn.
That's true.
Oh, I think I skipped over Chris of the Sea, Skipper. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped over a few people. Wow. I'm sorry about that, guys.
I thought that was just like part of the grapple that was happening.
It was. I think it was. I don't know how that.
It was
what happened
probably
there.
the guy who was fighting me.
But
who
he didn't.
grappled.
He goes at like the end of the order. He goes after me.
That's so
Yeah.
bizarre. I might have just screwed that shit up. I don't know.
Well, my turn will stay. I think both
Kenny, we're
Fal,
just
you
gonna
and-
move you in the turn
Turn
order,
order.
to after
Chris with a K.
after Skipper,
I-
who went and grabbed Foul. I think
Yeah.
I think what happened, Kenny, is you were talking about it, and I probably mentioned your name to see what you were doing or something like that, and probably
Sorry,
had you start going.
I didn't mean to skip.
I don't know.
anybody's
I
turn.
don't know if it's. I don't know whose fault it is. It doesn't really matter. But Fink has yet to go down here. He's the one fighting with this goblin and is going to try to attack. John, thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
And
He
he's gonna
misses.
miss this goblin. Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Go
So
Goblins.
it is now between you and Homer. Biz,
Homer.
Let's do this, other
Um,
wizard.
right?
Who's... Oh wait, what's his dex?
so-
If we're both 18, mine's a +2
What do you mean if you're both 18?
on the roll. Aren't we both 18 on the turn order?
Yeah, but these are so is Kipper.
Oh, yeah.
This is the same order we went in last time.
Oh.
He's not gonna tell you. He's like, my dex is blah blah blah.
I'm like, oh cool, mine's only blank.
So let's see what he's gonna do. All right. I know exactly what he's gonna do. So he is going to jump off this wall, or off this rock, I should say. And he is just going to point his hand. He's going to jump off right off this way. He's going to point his hand at Falyuan, and he's going to fire off a round of magic missiles. Pow, pow, pow. As 3 hot little missiles. Is that what it is? Is it 3 still?
Yeah.
So yeah, 3 hot little magic missiles are gonna sear your way, Falyuan. And you're gonna take a total of 6. You're gonna take 8 damage from that.
All right.
As you get slammed with these basically just magical balls of force from this guy. And you can see he's just like casually stalking towards you. He just like pointed at you with his staff, and these 3 bolts sort of like seared out of it. And you've got these 2 orcs right up in your grill. And one of those orcs javelins straight through your leg. Kipper is gonna run up to this nearest goblin and just boom, fucking take him for a ride.
Jesus,
he
Thomas.
is. He's just gonna do a powerful hit. He's gonna kill him. No, he's gonna drive his javelin straight through his heart and drop that guy to the ground. It is your turn, Viz. There's some destruction going on the battlefield.
More than a little. Fuck. Man. Let's see. Fuck. Like none of them. I'd have to like be all the way over here to have an effective lightning bolt. That's not useful. Well then I'm gonna do this, if that wizard thinks he can get away from our wizard duel. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Can I see him from here?
Yeah, he's got some cover from you.
Well, I'm going to call out my divination on that nat 20 I rolled earlier, and nat 20 roll jolt on this motherfucking wizard.
Oh,
That's what's up.
Snap.
All right, can you roll me a d6?
D6.
Yeah.
A 1.
Okay. Go ahead and deal double damage. Your normal critical.
So 2.
Because it's a critical hit, you know, you would have rolled on the crit table had you rolled above
Isn't
a
it
3.
D4? Oh no, it was a D6. D2D10, or so it would be 4D10, right?
Whatever the you would double whatever the damage dice are.
Do this. 49. Oh, not 4D20. Good God.
Whoa.
Let's do that. 20 damage to him.
Still, that's pretty good.
Jokes.
All right, straight 20 damage. This dude gets fried, and you start to see blood just starting to run down his nose a little bit. And you know his eyes look sort of like
Shocked.
hollowed out a little bit. You know, yeah. He's still alive, but he is shocked beyond belief.
Good.
And is. Does that provide any status effects, or he's just damaged?
It's just electric damage.
Still, that's pretty shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets all sorts of electrical, and that's gonna really hurt.
I hope
Uh,
so, you shit.
All right. Anything else for you, Viz?
That's a full move and an action, so that will do it for me. On to Foul.
All right. Foul Ewan.
Foul Ewan takes this javelin into his legs and screams out in pain. Ah! Falls, pulls out a shield, and in his desperation, pulls out the shotgun
Ooh, the shotgun's coming
and
out.
fires it at the guy that stabbed him. 24.
24 is
Point-blank
definitely gonna
shotgun
hit.
chest damage.
I'm gonna use all 3 barrels, so it's gonna be 24 damage.
Boom.
Plus your dex mod, right?
I don't think I get that with the
Yeah,
shotgun.
not with guns.
Oh, okay. I get it with
Alright.
my revolver.
It should say on your character sheet.
It
whether
says
or
on
not
my
you can
character
do that.
sheet. I
Yeah.
haven't read the rules
I think it's
beyond
because you have
it.
proficiency.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I took the feat.
You've defeated it.
All right. So Foul Ewan, this guy is done for.
Yay.
You just basically you blow a hole in his chest, and he just lumps over to one side. Oh, sorry. Was it the guy who stabbed you or the guy who didn't stab you?
The guy that stabbed me.
Okay. He's no longer with us.
So I still have a bonus action to attack, but I don't know if I can reload an attack in the same.
You just bash him with your
Bonus.
shield.
No.
Well, you
Not
can't
unless
really,
you have the
I'm sorry.
feed.
Before you said that you took out your shield, but you can't really use your shield and your shotgun at the same time.
Oh, I can't do that?
It's two-handed.
I mean, you can't one hand a shotgun.
This
Okay.
ain't the
Especially
movies,
firing
boys.
3 barrels.
That's how you break your arm.
Yeah, you definitely, especially not something that's got that much kick.
All right, that's fair.
So it's
That's
just
fair.
shotgun out.
Okay. Then in that case, can I just blast this next guy?
You have to reload.
You'd have to reload.
Would that be my movement?
It's a
No,
full
it's
turn, I
you're,
think.
for you. If you look at that item, it's a full round. It's a full round action to return.
Okay. I see.
Because it's so powerful, it's one of those things that you have to like eject the shells, pull out more from your waist, and like
Just
plug them in,
fucking
and that's
gun
going to take
butt 'em.
you about 6 seconds. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is not something. Because is that what it says on your? We can view your. Let me view your character sheet. Hold on.
Or you could make an improvised attack with the gun barrel.
Yeah, gun butt him.
Just swing it at him.
Just like take the heel and like bring it up under his chin.
Oh, actually, I don't think I imported it over into 5th edition. I'm not sure.
Oh, you don't have it on your character sheet here?
I just have the macro carried over from Pathfinder.
Well, then
Yeah,
we
I'll
need
have to add
to.
it.
I'm sorry. We need to We'll just need to refine the
Yeah.
actually find the weapon like we did for all the other guns.
Okay.
So let's drop back on that for a sec. Let's find this gun. Shotgun.
I don't know if this game would have a triple barrel shotgun. Although I guess the
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't-
that was.
It didn't have my small size repeater either.
But we made
I-
something similar, right? We just
Well,
used something that was.
Yeah, I put something in my inventory that was very similar
stats
and
wise.
took the proficiency, but I basically am rolling the damage and the attack, not with the
So,
macro.
Falyuan, you should be able to, on your character sheet, if you look, let's see. If you edit on your character sheet, you should be able to search for a shotgun.
Let's do it.
If you go to add items
Yep.
and you just search for shotgun. Let's see. They've got.
No results found.
Really? I found radiant shotgun, repeating shotgun, and regular shotgun.
Is it 2 words?
So,
So I just typed in shotgun as one word with weapon selected, and nothing shows up.
I just added a shotgun to your character sheet.
Sweet.
Do you see it there in your?
Let me go back to
You
my
look at your equipment.
equipment. Yes, I see it.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So I think the easiest way for us to do it is just retcon it as a double-barreled shotgun, because they don't have one of those in this. They just have a regular shotgun. So
Okay.
instead of doing a D12 damage, it's going to deal 2d8 damage per barrel.
Okay.
So it's going to deal 4d8 damage because you decided to fire both barrels.
Yeah.
So go ahead
me to reroll
and
that?
just re-roll 4d8 instead of the 3d12.
18.
Okay, still enough to kill this guy, regardless. But at least now we have an actual weapon that you can equip to it. So
Yeah,
it will take
definitely.
you a full round action to reload it using the reload feature on it.
Mhm.
But you can, like they say, you can make an improvised attack with it, just like using the butt of it or anything like that, if you want to.
Hell yeah. I would love to do that.
Yeah, so that's just going to be your unarmed strike, essentially. So just go ahead and make an attack with string. No proficiency. Just a +3.
11.
All right, 11's going to miss him. So, it's like one of those things that you hit him, but it's not enough to really, like, do any damage to him or anything like that.
It's my turn.
Alrighty. Now it's the goblins' turns, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So these goblins, the top two here, and these guys right here are gonna try to fight at their counterparts, stabbing at them with their little javelins. One of them's gonna hit. Hell yeah, buddy, on the left. And he's just gonna deal 2 damage. Not enough to kill this guy, but definitely enough to, put a little thorn in his side. The rest of the goblins are going to start to drive the sheep towards the waves, if they can. Basically, trying to keep the sheep away from any of these other orcs. And you can see they're starting to get into like defensive positions and crouch down and pull their shields out and stuff like that.
Oh, they're fucked.
And or the waves are sort of like crashing in, the sheep are banging, and you can hear like the desperate cries of these goblins.
Don't worry, Papa Viz is coming with a lightning bolt.
All right, it is Pablo's turn. Pablo, he breaks through the ranks of his companions and runs up to flank this other goblin who's fighting one of his boys. And he swings in with advantage.
Good God.
And he cuts this guy down. The goblin didn't even see it coming. And afterwards, Mark, who's on the other side right here, he kind of like laughs at the fact that these goblins are like they're so fucked. Though he swings down or tries to stab at this other goblin with his javelin and misses as he kind of like dances to the side and like bats it away with his shield.
Taking it too casually.
Fink runs across the battlefield. It's sort of in response, seeing this like fight still going on. And like, sorry, not 3. It's just gonna be 2.
Oh my God, Tom.
Jesus.
Oh,
thank
He
God.
Still,
misses.
13's gonna miss. Wow.
That is such a different roll.
Right? 2 19s and a 20. Damn. All right, so he's gonna miss instead. Even though he's flanking, this other goblin is able to like spin around and put his shield up just in time to bat the broadside of this axe off to the side and push it down.
Hazrock is his name now. He gets a name too.
All right, Nottingham. who's on the other side over here, who was throwing javelins, he's gonna pull another one from his back and huck it straight at Value.
What a coward.
15.
Miss.
All right, you sidestep. Walden, it lands right at your feet in the
Whew.
snow. All right. Let's see. Oh, it's Fremunda's brother. All right.
From over.
From Ova. He, seeing that they're all fighting this one goblin, he sort of like instead just starts to move his way across the battlefield. With his great axe out, he like looks back at his companions and sees the real threat now before him,
No, don't do that.
and
I'm not the real
engages
threat.
up with you,
I'm
Viz.
not the real threat.
He doesn't have enough to attack, but definitely enough to, to engage. Seeing his friend going off into a fray the other way, he is starting to be joined by a few of his friends.
Come on, guys! That's it.
And Paolo begins to move his way across the battlefield as well, sort of flanking out with his brethren. They both of them sort of like lower their javelins and get down into this like sort of fighter stance. You can see that there's like there's a real battle starting to become at hand. All right, we've got Harrison up here who's fighting with who's almost dead. Who's fighting with Fal Yuan. He is going to stab at you, Fal Yuan. And 11's gonna miss, I imagine.
Yep.
All right. And it is Billy Bob's turn. All right, so he's gonna move up and just try to attack this this orc that is basically pinning down the direwolf here, who is Kenny. He doesn't get a flanking bonus because you guys are technically grappled.
Mm-hmm.
But he is gonna hit.
Oh, he also has isn't he wielding Donder?
He is wielding
Yeah.
Donder.
that's good.
He is
That's
only going to
even
deal
better.
4 damage, though.
Oh. But Donder didn't like orcs.
Donder doesn't like a lot of things.
Thunder doesn't like being fucking kept in
Um,
the scabbard for months.
And that will wheel us right around back to Walden.
When now?
Oh, man.
Now, I think I saw some weird stuff going on with this gentleman.
Yeah, he was slinging some magic.
You saw Viz slinging back at him. It was a sick ass magic fight, and Viz was obviously the cooler wizard.
It was a sling
for
off.
Sure.
Sling off, yes.
22. Will
Oh,
that hit that
hell to
wizard?
the yes.
Oh, that'll hit him. Yeah. As that pistol fires off.
Yeah, it's some type of magic, I say in growls.
That's its own kind of magic.
Ugh, lowest damage ever. 7.
Sneak attack?
Nope.
No.
No.
There was no hiding or anything like that.
Well, I'll hide. I'll use my bonus action this round to hide.
Yeah, you're gonna have to move yourself into some sort of cover, because you are right in.
Oh, okay,
in
good.
plain
I
sight
do
at the
have.
moment.
How
There
about
you go.
that?
All right. Yeah, and you can go ahead and make me a stealth check to hide.
Plus 10.
Oh.
25.
Ooh, all right. You slip into the bushes.
You Homer Simpson into the bushes.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yep. All right. Anything else, Walden? I think
That is my turn.
Yeah, that was your bonus action. Yep, that's your turn. All right. Chris with the C is dead. Skipper also dead. Kenny, you are currently locked in a
Mortal struggle.
locked in a struggle here.
Yeah.
What would you like to do with this guy?
Well, I mean, he's yet to do anything to me. He's just holding me.
He's holding you at the moment. He's yet to really do much to you. He's sort of just like holding you at bay.
I'm going to try to. If I attack him, it won't break the grapple, right?
Nope. You can try to escape.
We're standing though, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna attack him first.
All right.
I get advantage because I have one of my because of pack tactics, and it's a plus. What was it? A +5 to bite? Yeah, +5. +5. Yeah. Oh man, a 13.
13. I think 13's gonna meet it.
Nice. 2d6 +3, and he has to make a DC strength check of 13 or be knocked prone.
Ooh. He is not knocked prone. How much damage does he take, Senor?
2d6 +3. 11.
Doesn't matter. It's still enough to tear his throat out.
Sweet. Dead
Hooray!
thing. Movement?
Help!
Yeah, that was just your attack.
So, I think it's a 30 or is it 40? 50 feet.
Under the tree
I
is
have-
difficult terrain, so it costs.
I have 50 feet worth of movement. So, I'm gonna run to here and jump out of the bushes and
So that's
make snapping
10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, 25 feet. 30 feet, maybe.
Yeah, I'm
Of
gonna
your
snap.
movement?
I'm also going to like block this way. How do you rotate? Top node, right? There we go. Somebody's doing it for me. There we go. Boom. That's where I
Alright.
want to be. Good.
Alright, so you come down and engage with this guy. Alright, it is now Fink's turn. Fink is down here still engaged with this goblin and his buddy next to him. And he also swings and misses on this
God.
guy.
Yeah,
this
that's right.
guy is rocking it out down here. So Fink is gone. It is now Homer's turn. Homer.
It's Homerian epic.
Falyuan, can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Let's see here. Yes.
Oh wait, hold on. You can do that with advantage.
Yes.
All right.
21.
So you feel this all of a sudden you feel like this like lightheadedness start to come over you. And you can see behind this orc that you're fighting, you can see this human who's got this staff out, and his eyes are just like piercing, like directly looking at him, looking at you. And you sort of you almost catch like this hypnotic stare from him for a second, but you immediately just like shake it off because of this orc that you're fighting that's like taking up too much of your attention in front of him.
And a pain shooting through my legs.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So you feel like you almost like fell into his stare, but were able to shake it off pretty quick. It is Kipper's turn. Kipper down here is the one who has his foot chopped off, and he is just going to limp back to these rocks over here, and just like put his back up against the rocks and start just like trying to do what he can to bandage his missing lower half of his leg. Or Kipper. All right, Viz, it is your turn.
I growl at
When
the
I
orc
rise up in the
next to
grill.
me, and I say, "Watch out! Watch the hands!" And I 5 foot back and whirl this snow cone around me, and the air starts electrifying around me as it whirls faster and faster. And from within the cone, a lightning bolt shoots from within. Yay, sway, hitting these
Boom.
orcs.
And those 4.
Yes.
Boom.
And then they roll saving throws. They have to beat a DC 16 dexterity. And then I roll damage.
Alrighty.
Well, I'm going to roll damage
So
anyway.
one of them's gonna get a little bit of advantage on it. This second guy here, he's a little bit out of the way.
Okay.
The other 2 are completely in it, and so is the guy who's right in front
That
of you.
is a damage roll, though.
So they make a dex save, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so here are the 3 that don't get any bonuses. One's gonna save.
One's going to save.
So this
Meet
middle
it
guy's
and
gonna
beat
save.
it.
And then here's one who he's got he's going to be able to get advantage on it just because of his not being completely in the stream. He is going to still take half damage.
So yes, those 2 take 36 and the other 2 take 18.
That is enough to kill any of them outright.
Boom! So lightning bolt tears through them. As Viz
A
yells
massive
out
blast
to
of
Homer,
Destroys these guys.
stand down and leave the goblins alone.
Boom. Man, taking them out. Foul. You see your buddy unleash this, basically this just cone of lightning across all these orcs, just destroying all of them. It's pretty terrifying because it's one of those things you're like, oh my god, that would kill anybody. That is so fucked. Oh, Viz, is there anything else on your turn?
I took my
Any movement?
Yeah, my movement. Well, that was my 5 foot. Just like the 5 foot disengage.
Oh, okay, right, never mind.
So that's everything. Viz will, kind of pant and look around with a wild look in his eyes as lightning is still sort of jolting out of his hair.
All right, so Foul, what do you want to do?
Foul Ewan will quickly try and reload and unload a stream of pellets on this fucker.
So let's see what the... Let me look up reload and see how long that takes you. Let's see. Reload. A limited number of shots can be made with this weapon that has the reload property. A character must then reload it using an action or a bonus action, the character's choice. Because it is what? How many rounds?
2.
So it's just an action. So you can basically just reload it as a. I would say you can probably do that as you've got 2 attacks, right?
Yeah, and can I use
So-
it as my movement?
No, I'll say that you can use it as because it says or a bonus action. I'll say that you can spend basically one of your attacks to reload it.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
It's kind of like it takes up your bonus action slot basically, and then you'd be able to make one attack afterwards.
All right. I will shoot this guy in front of me.
So sweet deal, yeah. You can basically use your bonus action to
10.
reload. And 10 is going to miss. Blam.
Miss. All right, it's my turn then.
Also, do let me know ahead of time if you plan to use before you roll. If you plan to use 1 barrel or 2, because you'd pull either 1 trigger or both.
Yeah.
And so let me know ahead of time.
Yeah. Okay. That was.
So was that 1 or both?
One.
Um. Val, anything else?
No, I'm staying right there.
All right, it is the goblins' turn. The rest of these goblins are still gonna kind of cower with these sheep. And we've got one goblin who's still going strong here. What are you calling him?
Hazrock.
All right, Hazrock is going to stab with his spear at the guy to the north of him. Sort of like working himself up into a
Oh
frenzy.
no!
Woo! He's gonna crit fail.
He got distracted by the lightning.
He is gonna roll on the crit fail table.
Oh no, Hazrock!
A 6.
All of our heroes
4, 3,
turn
4.
into dust.
Someone roll me a d20.
I'll do it. I'll take the responsibility for this. I named him. All right, Hazrock. 3.
3. All right. So Hazrock is going to, of course, on the crit fail table, the lower you roll on the d20, the worse.
Oh no!
Because you don't want to fail multiple times. So Hazrock stumbles back 5 feet. Sort of like whirling around in his frenzy, and then stabbing at one of his friends nearby.
Oh, no.
Hazrock, calm
And
down.
critically failing in how well he stabs him, dealing double damage.
Oh no!
Oh, piercing his fellow goblin straight through the throat. and as he pulls the javelin out, looks down at his hands and what he's done, and sort of just drops the javelin and stands back for a sec, kind of shaking, as these
His eyes were
orcs
closed
are
the
just
whole time.
right behind him, just snarling.
Probably
up at his grill.
guffawing, probably.
The rest of the goblins nearby, they just start to drive the sheep into the shallows, and you can see are still crouched down with their shields, and trying to protect these sheep from the few orcs that are left. All right, Pablo's dead. Mark, who just witnessed this goblin stab one of his friends in a frenzy, doesn't even have to step forward and just stabs at this guy with his javelin.
Oh, God.
In a distraction. Oh!
4 is not enough to kill him. All right, he is still up.
Go on, Hazrock.
So he takes a stab in the side and sort of spins away back into the fight, and throws his shield back up and locks his little javelin in next to it, and gets into step facing Fink, the other orc who is down below him.
No, you're leaving yourself open.
Fink swings in. Fink. Okay. Fink is just gonna standard crit on our friendly goblin. What's his name?
Hazrock.
Hazrock.
Oh no, Hazrock. Oh, Hazrock.
Hazrock gets cut in half.
No.
We'll call him Hazrock now. So
I can't let myself laugh again.
he throws his shield up, and it's one of those things where this orc steps forward and he just does a pump fake. He goes to pretend to swing, runs, and Hazrock throws his shield up and then drops it as the second swing comes straight down on his head, just splitting his skull.
Oh.
Nottingham picks up the third javelin he's got in his back, hefts it a couple times in his hand, and then throws it straight at Valyuan. 13.
Yes.
All right. As you knock it to the ground. All right.
Quite the courageous stand.
Framova's dead. He got shocked. Paolo is dead. He got mauled. Let's see.
I like the after image
God,
of
all these people are
Kenny's
dead.
human body.
Harrison, who is up here fighting Valyuan, is going to again try to stab at you.
Oh no.
I'm rolling him out, Fal. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Oh no. Okay.
And he's not gonna roll on the crit table. He is gonna deal some double damage to you though. He's going to deal 8 damage, Val. And remember, Falyun, as a fighter, you do have the ability Second Wind.
Yep.
So, that could come in handy at some point in time, as Harrison just sort of stabs into you.
Now bloodied.
It is now Peter's turn. Peter is going to run up to this cleric here, who is right at the edge of the wood, and swing at him with his club. He's gonna miss. It is now said cleric's turn with his longsword. And he's also gonna miss. These two are just engaged in some casual NPC versus NPC.
They're just like, no, you stop it.
It's one of those things where they're not attacking each other; they're just hitting each other's weapons against each other, like
Star
the way
Wars
that
style.
a lot of kids, like fake fight and stuff, All right, so it is now Walden's turn. Walden, you are hidden in the bushes.
Pop.
Boom! Right at what's his name? There, Homer.
Is that
Alright.
the wizard's name?
Yes.
Yep, that's the wizard's name.
Yeah.
His ass.
Oh. 22, will that hit him?
Definitely hit. Go ahead and roll me damage with sneak attack. Because you're within 30 feet, right?
So 18 to start.
Oh,
Yeah, within 30 feet.
that's what we need.
To start.
It's 28 overall.
28 damage. That'll do
Yes.
it.
Thank you. Finally, I did something.
You blow this dude away. He just drops straight to the ground, and he is done so. The orcs' numbers are starting to dwindle. Kipper, you can hear just sort of like moaning, propped up against these rocks here, holding on to his mangled leg. And Viz, it is your turn.
Viz, enjoying this distance from the bushes, he's going to shoot a jolt at that guy, and hope to hit him. Let's see, that's 8. Oh, good golly. D6, right, for the crit fail table?
Oh my, yes, unfortunately.
3.
Oh, 3.
Does that not?
Oh no.
Isn't it 1, 2, 3 for the crit fail table?
No, it's 3, 4, 5, 6.
Possibly be. Okay, 14.
14.
Better.
Okay, not as bad. Okay, so it's one of those things you're trying to get your footing in here because you're under some tree growth and stuff like that, right? So as you move forward to cast this spell, you trip over some roots that are trapped up in the ground here, and you twist your ankle really bad.
Owie! As Fal's got like a fucking spear through his knee.
So can you make a dex save?
I shall. Just flat dex.
Yep.
Okay. 9. Not good.
You fall prone.
Okay. I shall be prone.
All right. So you will now move at half speed for the rest of the encounter.
My
because your
ankle.
ankle is
Owie,
twisted.
help.
And if
help.
you're now, and you're in difficult terrain, so you're moving at quarter speed.
Looks like I'm just sniping for the rest of the battle, guys.
Val, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna spend my
Wait,
action to. Did you what?
Did you put me back in the order in where I was then, Tom?
Oh, right, Kenny. We skipped Kenny again. Or now we've skipped
Did we?
Kenny.
Oh yeah, Joe can
He
go
was supposed
first.
to go.
Bitch.
After the second 2.
Yes, now he's back. Kenny goes now.
Now you're back. I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know why I keep skipping people. That never really happens.
It really
Well,
doesn't.
we
It's
also
very
have like 30
uncharacteristic.
fucking characters on that turn order, so.
I'm
It's
just
true.
gonna move up to this dude with Falyun here and flank him, and then attack him to bite him because he's not a nice man.
Yes.
Okay, I see. You're gonna sort of escape to the back there. I'm just gonna
oh,
remove these guys who are dead from the turn order, so I stop confusing myself.
oh, well, it's a good thing I have advantage and not disadvantage.
Yes.
17 to hit.
17 is definitely going to hit.
Do direwolf kill damage?
2d6 plus 3. And he can make a dex saving throw to see if he's prone.
He doesn't
Seven.
have to.
He's dead.
He's dead?
He is donezo.
Alright, yay, Falyu, and that guy's dead. You can
Oh,
go.
Fel, you
Roar!
A huge
Rawr.
sigh of relief.
Roar,
All right, as Harrison
roar.
is no more.
I'm gonna use the rest of my move since that guy's dead. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35. I'm just gonna engage with this guy.
What's your movement speed?
50.
Wow, that's fucking awesome.
Being a direwolf's pretty badass.
All right, so you make your way up to this other guy who now
I'm dragging his friend with. And no, I take this guy with me. Give me this guy. I put him in my mouth and I'm dragging him along.
we'll get him
As
halfway.
as I try to make the trip attack, I just kind of take him with me. I've got his leg in my mouth.
All right. Anything else, Kenny? Now that I missed you,
That's it. Now Falyuan can go.
Falyuan, it is your turn.
I will spend my action to reload the shotgun
All right.
and then fire. Let me check the range on it real quick. Is this like game range or okay, 39? Oh, that's pretty good. Can I use this guy? Yes. I will shoot this guy here
Nice.
with the shotgun.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Crit from a distance, single barrel. Go ahead and roll a d6.
Single barrel,
I was
yes.
holding in the
Yeah, 'cause you
thought,
already
like,
spent the other
don't
shot.
crit fail and hit the
Five.
wolf.
Go ahead and roll a d20.
Oh.
15.
15.
Boom, leg removed at the thigh.
That sounds poetic somehow.
Roll a
I'm gonna have
d4. Let's see which leg.
I'm gonna have so many leg bones to play with.
The left leg. Um,
Yeah.
So you blow this dude's leg off. Go ahead and roll me critical damage.
So
4d8.
48. 16.
16 damage. Definitely enough to kill him. You blow this dude's leg off. He now joins the ranks of his other fellow orc friends in death.
Sweet.
Alrighty.
And then I will spend my action surge to second wind.
Now, is your action surge a bonus action?
You can take one additional action on your turn. That's all it says.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So then I will, and then second wind. It's a bonus action.
Oh, so you don't need to. A bonus
10.
action you just get. You don't need to spend
Oh,
your action to get a bonus
Sure.
action.
okay. Well
You can
then,
just use your bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1d10 plus your fighter level.
14.
That's always awesome.
Boom! There you go.
As you like
That's how you
creepily
engage 14
Wolverine
HP.
your wound shut.
Yeah. I
know,
am
you
no
just,
longer
like,
bloody.
You take a breath for a sec, and you get that second wind, man. You know.
And I imagine part
Um,
of that is you grabbing the spear that's in your leg and breaking the haft off.
Yeah.
So you just have the iron part sticking through your leg.
So you're
I was
not
just thinking the
bleeding
same
out, but
thing,
it's not
Joe.
impeding you.
Yeah.
So are you gonna move it all, Falyuan?
Let's see.
You can only move half speed.
Yeah, so I can move 15 feet. I'm gonna kind of stay where I am right now.
Alrighty.
Yeah. I'm good. That's my turn.
It is the goblins' turn. None of them are currently engaged with any of the orcs, and they're gonna keep it that way. They are just cowering.
We're coming, little guys.
Mark and Fink, the two who have been basically doing all the destruction,
Oh, the bullies.
standing right up front here. They continue on the
Come
advance. And they're gonna wipe out these. They're gonna wipe out these goblins one way or another. One of them's gonna crit fail.
And hit the other one? Oh, please, God, hit the other one.
Oh, yes. Come on, do something like he crushes his own foot or something.
So one of them, the first one who attacked, is going to hit this this goblin who is standing the northernmost one there. And he is going to deal 6 damage to him and kill him straight up. His buddy was swinging for the same goblin with his great axe, and instead is crit fails, and as a 4 hits his friend, dealing normal damage.
Oh.
Dealing 11 damage to his buddy and killing him. All right, so Fink swings in. Well, Mark swings in for a kill, and Fink swings in simultaneously for another kill. Just it was his buddy Mark instead.
Playing
That's
for the
too
wrong
bad.
team there, Fink.
Yeah.
Fink also then now looks at his hands and the blood all over, and it's like, starts to freak out a little bit. Even for an orc. It is Peter's turn.
Which one's Peter?
Sorry, I forgot Skipper was down here too. Peter is the one who is fighting Billy Bob.
Ah.
He's gonna miss Billy Bob.
Stop it. Stop it.
Can we just make Billy Bob swing now to make that fight just happen right now?
As one of the orcs
Get it
just
over with.
fucking bails.
Oh no, I'm running after him. I hope you know. It's
You
gonna
can
be
do whatever you want, but
It's
Skipper
gonna be a
is
chase.
running.
He's double moved.
And Billy Bob is going to attack. And he's gonna miss.
Stop it.
All right.
Wait, didn't 13 hit before?
Oh, you're right. A
Can-
13 does hit. I forgot about that.
They can have different armor as well.
No, but they don't.
But
Still not dealing very much in the way of damage.
He's like, ow!
I stab at thee.
Walden, it is your turn, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna move over here and be like, I'm getting blood all over my boots of Elvenkind. And I'm gonna take a shot at this dude. Is he
Alright.
flat-footed?
Yeah, there's just a bunch of bot. Yeah, he does not know that you're there, basically.
But also, he killed his friend, and he's all like, "Oh, woe is me."
Yeah. He's distracted for sure.
Oh boy.
It's not gonna be
Ooh,
a good day for
That's
him.
gonna miss.
Besides the fact that he.
You just fire a shot off, basically, like out into the water. All right. Anything else, Nate?
I'm going to. No, I'll just dash over here
All
a
right.
little bit closer.
A dashing
Kipper's
rogue.
turn.
There we go.
20, 25, 30. Kipper starts to drag himself away. He's like hobbling and sort of like, falling down every few steps and stuff, and just starts trying to drag himself into the woods. Viz, it is your turn.
Viz will stand up, kind of prop himself against the tree, line up his shot using the divination from before, like, I got this, using that 13 that he rolled. I can roll and then decide if I want to replace it. I think. It says, yeah, I can replace a roll, but I have to tell beforehand if I'm going to or not. Plus 8. Yeah, I'll replace it. Well, I mean, it's that hit.
Well, I thought you said you had to say beforehand whether or not you're.
That's true. I'll just replace it. Yeah.
So.
we was just saying you can roll. You just have to say beforehand if you're going to replace it. But if your roll's like, and then you decide if you're going to replace it or not after the roll, you can replace any attack roll, saving throw, or ability check. So I don't know how the mechanics of that work out.
What's the ability? I'll just look it up.
Portent. It's a special for the divination wizard school. I figured I needed anything I could use to get help with rolls. You can replace any attack, saving, or ability check made by you or a creature that you can see.
How do you spell it?
Portent. So I don't know if it means like once you call it out, you're just gonna replace it, or
You can replace an attack roll, saving throw, ability check made by you or a creature that you see with one of those foretelling rolls. You must do so before the roll, and you can replace a roll in this way only once per turn. You do it before you roll.
right. So you just
And you just-
automatically replace it with that number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how it works then. All right. Then I didn't roll. Doesn't matter. I 13. So plus 8, 20.
Hold on, I still want to be able to find this.
It's on page 116, Tom.
I don't have a
It
book
says-
in front of me.
Starting at
here,
second-
wait, let me...
Starting at second level,
this?
when
Oh,
you choose this school, glimpses of your future begin to press into your awareness. When you finish a long rest, roll 2
Okay, I've
d20s
got
and
it right
record
here.
the number
Who's
rolled.
got it, Joe?
Oh yeah, so you choose before the roll. Basically, it's like you're gonna say that this roll is going to be this number, and you replace the roll. So you don't even have to make the roll basically, because you're replacing it with a number
Yeah.
specific.
Sorry for
Uh,
time waste.
No. It's good to understand because it's gonna be something that your character's doing in general.
It's true.
like, as
I am
we
going to
move
start
forward,
doing that a
right?
lot more.
Yeah, so that's definitely something important to go over.
So
so yeah,
a
it's
21
just gonna
will
be a-
hit, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
Then I'm going to roll damage on this big old bully who keeps hitting these little goblins with 5 shitty little electric
5 is
damage.
not gonna kill him.
God damn it. 2d10 and I roll 5. Well,
Wow.
that'll. I guess I'll start to slowly pull myself at quarter speed out of the tree. That's literally all the move I can do. And then that's it.
All right. Let me just move this stuff that's on top of you. Kenny.
I move to there and wait for this guy to move, grinning at him, knowing that I'm going to run him down.
Alrighty. Valuin.
I will move down to here.
It's painful.
It is excruciating.
Like, I feel you,
When
bud. Owie.
Yeah, and I'm gonna fire one shot at this guy. It's the last shot from the reload.
Used both last
You
turn.
used both.
Oh, I did it. Oh,
You
okay.
used
Well,
one
then
and then missed, and then you used one the next turn and missed.
Can I reload
Yep.
and then action surge to fire?
You don't have to action surge to fire. You can reload as a bonus action,
Okay. Well,
and
then
then fire one shot.
I will fire one shot at him. Then.
Yeah, you can fire both barrels too if you want to as one shot.
I will do both.
All right.
I'm ready to end this.
So go ahead and
And
Oh,
miss.
it is gonna miss.
Well, then I will use my action surge to reload.
That is totally fine. You use your action surge as an action to reload. All right. So you make sure you make a note of all the shells you're wasting.
Yeah, I got that.
2 each time. It is the goblins' turn. They continue to cower with their spears and stuff out.
Fight.
They're gonna go for the last stand. these goblins start to use their goblin tactics and circle up around this orc, and they just start to go to town. One's gonna miss. Another one's gonna miss. Third one's gonna miss. Fourth one's also gonna miss. They start trying to rain down on this guy. No luck. It is now Fink's turn, who is surrounded by goblins. And he just goes to brain the one that's behind him, and the one that's flanking him first.
Reasonable.
And he does. He smacks this guy upside the head with the broadside, or just basically stabs this guy, actually, and drops him to the ground.
Why do you only roll well with the orcs? The goblins all roll shittily.
Peter is going to attack Billy Bob.
That's not to remember
and
that
miss.
Nat 20 hero goblin.
And
It's hard to know
Skipper
how many
is
nat
going
20s
to
Tommy
swing
rolled
with his
tonight.
great axe at this dire wolf that is blocking his path,
That's you.
and also miss.
Oh, you dumb motherfucker.
All right, that's his move. He's going to move within your threatened reach.
I'm gonna bite you.
It is Billy Bob's turn. He's Walden, go right ahead. Billy Bob and this guy are just toy fighting in the woods.
Yeah, they're talking at this point. They're just like sitting down.
Do you get benefits with your hire?
Yeah, right. What do they pay?
Alright, that'll be my last bullet in the chamber.
Sixth shot or fifth shot?
6 shot. This one's a 6 shooter. Plus 16.
That'll hit. Which one you shooting? The one fighting Billy Bob or the one fighting the goblins?
No, I don't give a fuck about Billy Bob.
All right, that's what I thought.
This guy. 18 damage.
That'll kill him. Boom!
And I will
Blow
use.
the back of his skull off from a distance.
Amazing. Now the goblins are just covered in blood and terrified.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll use my
pretty
bonus.
It's pretty much been their entire way, the
Yeah,
entire
but that's
encounter,
just their
covered in blood,
lives,
terrified.
covered in blood and terrified.
Yeah, right.
I'll use my bonus action to reload. And that is my
Okay.
turn.
So we can kind of drop out of combat there at this point. You guys have wrapped things up enough that together you guys will be able to kill this orc that Billy Bob's fighting. Joe will be able to finish off the orc that's trying to run from him.
Actually, does he? Can we convince him to throw down his arms instead of killing him?
If you want to try that, we can continue to act it out and act out the
Do
fighting.
people want to do that, or do you want to just kill?
Can you
Kill.
speak? Can you speak his
That's
language?
true, none of us can communicate with orcs. So yeah, death it is.
All right, so like before, the orcs are now all.
Yeah. Back to the fast
Um,
forward.
So
I fucking fall to the ground.
So does Viz. Oh, my ankle. I can't stand.
So, Falyu and Billy Bob's gonna come up and see what he can do, as far as making a heal check. So he's gonna make a heal check on you, and with this, it's gonna sort of determine, you know, how well you're gonna recover.
I'm
that
gonna
make
turn
sense?
back into a gnome.
Viz will
tr-
come over and
see if I can
investigate the
assist.
wound to help out. To be like, all right, how can we help reattach his stringy bits?
So
There's
he's gonna
nothing
make a.
stringy. It's just a spear through my leg.
Well, the stringy bits are your ligaments. Oh.
So he's
don't
gonna
help.
make a. What are you guys doing?
Oh, I was helping with the investigation, aiding his check, but I don't aid.
Oh, but you crit fail instead.
I'd probably fuck him up, so that's great.
I'll let you know if you need to make rolls. Don't
All
worry.
right.
And your crit fail is not going to matter.
Thank God.
So, Billy Bob's going to come up to check you out, Falyon. And he is going to do a medicine check. So I need someone to roll me a d20 with a It's a wisdom-based check, so it's going to be with a +6.
Me. Val, do you want to control your own fate?
I want somebody else to do it.
Alright.
No foul.
Joey.
Yeah, I just rolled
Be a
I
medicine
have
check.
one. Oh,
Okay.
no.
So it's enough to say he diagnoses the problem, and he does he like looks at all the torn ligaments and everything else like that. And he does a cure wounds on you. Using his highest level, which is just a 2nd level spell. He's going to heal you for 20 points.
That'll put me back to the top.
But he is, so you're not gonna, so like the crit that you got was a 14, which is leg removed at the knee. But you were able to have your cleric on this injury within minutes. And he didn't fail. He got a 10 to save your leg. So he was able to save your leg. But it's going to leave you with a permanent limp.
Oh.
So Fal, unfortunately, it is going to lower your movement speed slightly. So what is your current movement speed?
30.
All right, it's going to put you down to a 20.
Oh my god.
Unless
So
we can get a
your
greater
leg
restoration.
super stiff. So yeah, you might be able to have a better cleric than this restore you and heal you even further.
Same thing with the
You've
fingers.
also been told, there's stories that your father's told you in the past of shamans and things like that who have incredible healing capabilities. But none of those are here nor there at the moment.
Yeah.
So currently, you still have your leg, but you're moving at 2/3 speed. Little worse for wear, Fal.
Hey, where's that plate mail we had before?
You guys did manage to save 5 sheep and 3 goblins. These
We
3
did it.
goblins now have their weapons tossed in the sand and are kneeling down with their hands all in the air.
Viz motions
Let's-
them to stand up and, offers them help, helps them stand up.
I'm gonna try to play Steal the River.
I
Right
was gonna
now.
break out some of the scrimshaw with the tribe marking from, from our friends, and see if they know them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You break out the scrimshaw, and basically, it's one of those things that Walden, you start to pull out these these bone dice, and you can see they look at you like, what is this fiddling? And then Kenny pulls out this scrimshaw that these other guys made, and one of the other ones pulls out the same scrimshaw. Same type of carving work, different design and stuff like that, but obviously the same hand.
Oh,
And
artist.
he points to this and he points to that and he points to himself.
Oh, I've got some of your artwork.
And then his eyes fall to his fallen friends nearby, and he sort of gets lost in this stare.
I'm gonna see if I can cast Spare the Dying on any of these guys.
Ooh.
To see if I can get any of them back from the brink.
In the meantime, Viz will get them away from the water and, maybe sit them down, warm them up a little bit.
What level spell is Spare the Dying?
I thought I had it. I don't think it.
It's a
I thought-
cantrip,
Yeah,
right?
It is.
Yeah, do you have it?
No, I took resistance at this morning, not Spare the Dying. I didn't think I would need it.
Oh.
Can you cast it as
I will
a
make-
ritual if it's not prepared? It takes 10 minutes.
Is it? If it's not prepared, no. I've been looking at the rules for rituals. You have to have it prepared. If I had it prepared, I could cast it as a ritual. You can also cast any spell you have prepared as a ritual without expending your spell slot. But unfortunately,
Well, let's see.
No, there's a
Is it a
possibility,
cleric
like,
spell?
I can cast Alarm as a ritual if I don't have it prepared. It just means it'll take me, like,
That-
10 minutes.
no, that's not in the way it works. Unless you have it prepared, you can't cast it. You have to have the spell prepared in order to cast it as a ritual. It just doesn't take the spell slot.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, but to answer your question, Tommy, it is a cleric spell, I think.
Yes.
Let's see.
So, Billy might have it.
I would say Billy Bob probably does have it because you
And-
hired him as a healer.
Yeah, and it's a cantrip, so.
So, yeah, Billy Bob will. I'd say Kenny, because it's a spell that you know as well. The two of you guys can.
I was gonna say anybody he finds that he can cast it on, I'll make a medicine check on them right afterwards to try to get them a little bit past just not dying, you know.
Alrighty. So.
It's like I had the sweet release of death. Now I'm just bleeding out on the beach.
Why would you do this
What
to
did
me?
you do?
So Kenny, can you roll me 1, 2?
Put me back to death.
Can you roll me a D7? All right. So there's 2 of them out of the 7 who have died, who
Yeah, a
possibly
lot of them
could be
got
spared.
cut in half.
Yeah, a lot
So
of them
I'm
got cut in
not
half.
surprised.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's 8 of them. Sorry. Roll me a D8, not a
Oh.
D7.
More of them, maybe?
More of them, possibly, or less.
Or less.
Oh, there's 9. Roll me a D9. I keep uncovering them.
Same
I keep
amount.
moving. Oh, there's a 10. There's a D10.
10. Keep rolling twos, Joey.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
trying.
D10.
If I roll
we'll stop
another
there.
2.
We'll stop there.
All 10.
All 10 of them. All right.
Somehow the
All right.
ones that were cut in half. At least 5 of them got cut in half.
I like-
At
least
yeah,
5
at
of them
least
had
5 of them are
crits.
kind of. So we're only gonna go with
So,
5. We're gonna
5
go with
is
5.
I like the idea
Thank
that
you.
they're
So
like,
can
oh my god!
I'm like, the guy's like, you have my top on somebody else's bottom, but somehow I'm alive.
He's like, my left
All
half
right,
is
so we're
your
gonna go
left
with
half."
we're gonna go with 5. All right, so can you make me 5 medicine checks?
Yes. With mine, not Billy Bob's, right?
Yes, with yours, not Billy Bob's.
I
Billy Bob's
think-
casting the spells.
Yep. I'm just checking my
He's
medicine.
like, come on, you only pay me so much, guys.
He casts it 10 times, even on the guys who are
20.
split in half. Because you're like, you could save him.
We're like, Billy Bob,
Man,
stop
we're
it.
all trying.
1.
Oh, you can roll them all together, dude.
Oh, how many is it? 5. So 4 more. So 1's a 20. And
But,
All right.
you know, you giveth and you taketh.
So
4.
you're able to save 4 of them.
Pretty fucking
Woo!
good. Well done.
Wow, that is pretty good. 4 of them sort of cough back to life.
That's amazing.
The lengths we go to save some goblins, huh? Maybe they want to get on our ship with us.
Hey, Goblin Crew,
Alright.
bro. I'm so into that.
So
And I
we
mean,
will
they brought
end
some
our
food.
session right there. It is 11:30.
Yeah.
It is, I think, the perfect time after killing another dozen orcs, 14 to be exact, and some sort of human wizard. You would imagine one who is slinging spells.
I'm gonna have to search that body.
You guys have now saved 7 goblins from certain death. In addition to saving 5 sheep, which are
And being at our
pretty valuable.
rendezvous point.
And you do see with your spyglass, if you were to hop up on one of these rocks in a fancy pose,
I do so with
Oh,
my
I would
twisted
totally-
ankle
I would
dramatically.
totally do that. As he
um,
falls over and I laugh at him.
Splashing
while he
into the
is
water
like
with a spyglass in my
that. I
hand.
got a 16.
all right, and you do see that these you see that this ship is out on the horizon, not too far away.
I will light a
maybe-
torch and signal, like, you know, wave a torch.
Viz
from the
fails
ground.
his acrobatics roll to get up the rocks, and therefore just sits on the rocks and asks what's happening.
All right, and we will finish our session right there.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for
You guys are
tuning in.
Okay.
If anyone's still goddamn out there, you guys are the best.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for showing up.
You can watch this stream. It's actually working this time. I checked. Anytime you want on our channel. We'll try and keep it up for at least 2 weeks. I'm gonna see if I can keep it up for longer. But come back. Every week we do this 8 to usually 10:30, but we get excited sometimes.
8 to 11's the hope.
8 to 11 is normal. And that is that. 3, 2, 1.
All right.